Well, I say every day it's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.
We're not qualified.
Explorers in the further regions of experience.
Did you not listen?
Then the hell with you.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome into Screaming into the Void, episode number 192. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and joining me today we have Caucasian Sasquatch.
Hello.
Indeed, he's doing the thing. You know what's funny is your background image there of the pale Sasquatch smoking with the alien there. Did you ever watch those alien Sasquatch videos or those AI Sasquatch videos? Yeah. Did you ever see the ones where he actually found the alien?
A few, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good times, good times. We also have joining us Anna from Anna's Game Land.
Hello all the way from the UK, where we are slowly melting the pavement. Yes, it is a heat wave here, and yeah.
So what is the temperature in your heat wave?
Oh, I'm not going to start the American say, oh my God, you guys don't understand. We in the South have it way worse than you. No, we don't have the same aircon. We don't have the same buildings built the same way, pavements, especially in a big city. So please give us
Climates are totally different too, actually.
Oh, we are an island. It's very humid. And yes, there's a lot of things going on where I am just slowly trying to get back to switching my fan on, but I can't because I'm on my mobile phone. I don't want to have that in the background, but thank you for having me, Sam. Hello, Shadu, hello, Squatch, and everybody in chat.
Yep.
Hi.
And we also have with us Shadow of Hawk.
Howdy, y'all.
Maybe. Oh, there he is.
Yep, how you doing? I was being polite and waiting for you to finish speaking.
Wow, that hasn't ever happened.
First time for everything.
Good on you, kid. Growth.
I was given safety rules, and I've been forced to show restraint to avoid having to repeat them over and over and over again.
That's what we mean by growth.
Yeah. Yep. He's adult in there. All right.
Used is a better term.
Then now we're back to square one.
Yes.
So, anywho, we are live currently on Twix, Rumble, and two separate YouTube channels, Caucasian Sasquatch and Samuel the Infamous. If you're in any of those places, drop a comment. Let us know you are here. You'll also notice pinned in the YouTube and Rumble chats a Give, Send, Go link for our good friend Gal. Yes, I'm still shilling this. Yes, it's not fulfilled yet. Last I checked, it was at 4,200 of 6K. I think we could have gotten that done weeks ago. I still think that's possible. So if you can help, great. If not, please share it out to as many people as possible and in all the places. Do the things. And like I've said before, I'm going to keep shilling it until A, it's fulfilled, or B, Gal herself tells me to knock it the fuck off, which may happen. That said, welcome in everybody. If you're in any of those places, drop a comment, let us know you're here, and we're going to say hello to the chat real quick before we get on into the show. Scotty Waddles says, hey now, but he is in fact second today, but it is not his fault because old Blindy jumped in after I created this last night, so I didn't have to waste any time staying awake longer than I had to. So he jumped in at 9:45 p.m. last night to say he was first. But otherwise, Scotty, you would have been first. We also have with us Mr. Beak. I see Hurricane Perro in the chat. Howdy. Good to see you. We've got John Denicola. Howdy. Justifiable Patriot. I feel like that needs to be said with a Texan accent. Justifiable
Patriot.
Patriot.
The Georgian accent as well. Justifiable Patriot.
Right. We've got Tiffany's Epiphany with us. Good to see you. Welcome in. As you come in, I will do my very best to acknowledge your presence by at least highlighting one of your comments, kind of thing, as we go along. So, kind of the first things first, have you guys heard about, I know Sasquatch and I talked a little bit about this backstage, but have you guys heard this trend going around where people are saying now that the Norse pantheon came from Turkey?
I've not, but I want to hear this logic. I want to hear this retorted logic.
Okay, so
I can
we have a
kind
video.
of feed some of it to you. I haven't heard this one, but I have heard variations on the theme of the Norse pantheon originating, like you said, Turkey, Egypt, the Christian, or rather Judean mythology and all of that stuff, Sumer. But I don't know, man. Hit me with it.
Okay, so the idea is that because Snorri Snorrason, the guy who actually codified and wrote down the Poetic and Prose Eddas in Iceland, right, which is pretty much our only written record of any of Norse mythology and history and all that shit, because they weren't real big on writing shit down that wasn't on like little wooden sticks by the privy for a very long time. They had written language. They didn't really make much use of it. And so this guy, Snorri, he is obviously he was a kind of scholar, but he wanted to sort of find a way to make the Old Norse stuff, the things that his ancestors were involved in, seem less somehow offensive to the Christian contingent who had since taken over. And Snorri himself was a Christian. And so he made mention of Troy specifically. And he made mention of comparing heroes in the Iliad to Norse gods like Hector and Thor, for example. He conflated them as one person. Now, the guy in the video we're about to bring up actually does a much better job of explaining this. I just think it's funny that people will take one thing out of context and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, well yeah, definitely there were black Vikings." Definitely there were black samurai, despite the fact that what's his name was a pet, Yasuke or whatever. But anyway, so we're gonna bring this up.
Did the motherfucker have a sword?
He carried one. It wasn't his.
Okay, it doesn't matter. That's close enough.
No,
damn it.
Carried one as in he was there to hold it until someone else needed it. Specifically, Oda Nobunaga. It's the same thing as carrying your bitch's purse, dude. It's not really your purse, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not. But at the same time, if somebody goes to wailing on my bitch, I guess I'm gonna hit them with my purse.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
Samurai, damn it.
I'll hit him with my fanny pack. How about that?
I need Suka, if you're out there listening, I need an AI video of Caucasian Sasquatch as Bobby Hill at the Y.
Chop.
Anyway, so this fellow, Jackson Crawford, is a linguist and a scholar based, I think, in southern Wyoming, northern Colorado. He's also been involved in a number of like films and that sort of thing for like accuracy's sake when it comes to depiction of runes. I think the only one that I can think of off the top of my head is Frozen. He was involved in that project as far as like the actual like runes shown on screen goes. That was all him. And he actually has a pretty solid channel where he talks a lot about languages and origins of words and that sort of thing. And he's a pretty well researched guy. And anyway, he explains this whole situation better than I do.
Is that the sign to start?
Yes.
Well, it's Dr.
Yes,
Jackson Crawford. And the TikTok factoid du jour is that the Norse gods and their myths come, quote unquote, from Turkey. And this could not be a bigger misunderstanding of our source material. We know our stories of the Norse gods from two main sources written down in Iceland in the 1200s. These are called the Poetic Edda and the Prose Edda.
Yep.
The Prose Edda is an account by one person, Snorri Sturluson, who is trying to explain the poems in the Poetic Edda, which originate from oral transmission from the pre-Christian period in the Viking Age, to a Christian audience in the 1200s. So he's already kind of modifying, kind of adjusting these stories for a new audience. And because he lives in a Christian society and is a devout Christian, he wants to justify his interest in these stories and the old gods by saying they're
so that
not
right there,
really gods. And
this is important. This is like the most important part of this, is that what he's talking about here is there were already Christian sanitization of Old Norse stuff going on.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Like this was the main reason why any of this happens is because somebody back then was trying to, Snorri in this case, was trying to make it more palatable for the local religious authority, which was now Christianity.
Yeah.
So I talked to an etymologist type guy, and he was also, he'd had like a minor in human history, specifically pre-Christian history in various
You mean
places.
like anthropology?
This was more along the lines of like pre-written word, right? He's one of those people who's collating all the different signs out of caves and stuff and trying to figure out if there was a proto-language of some sort, you know? But what he was proposing was, so the entire earth, every human on it is derived from a group of humans who left in several waves from Africa. And the early prehistory of our species is tied directly to some of our more basest myths, right? And he was suggesting that the reason the similarities exist between the Old Norse sagas and the Near East, the Far East, and various other places is that it's the same information interpreted through oral tradition over thousands of years being written down at its end product, which was pre-Christian Norway in the sense of the Viking Norse myths. And rarely was it actually written down by anyone who wasn't Christian. So most, if not all, of the Christian overlay that you see in it is done by the monks who did the initial translating and writing down. But some of it is from the initial interpretations of the oral myths from before the time of writing in each case. And he's like, how do you sift that apart? How do you determine whether something's, you know, the flood myth is a flood myth from pre-Norse culture or post-Christian culture? I don't know.
So, yeah, and that's the thing that you also have to keep in mind is like you got to look at what's missing too, right? Because obviously a religious authority isn't going to want reminders of, you know, previous religions to linger around. They might keep the stories, but they're certainly going to cut out any kind of religious practices or rituals or that sort of thing. Like all of that gets memory hold as hard as they possibly can because they don't want people falling back on that stuff. So, you know, if you don't remember how to worship these guys, then you can't really worship these guys, kind of thing. Which is one of the reasons that the modern movement of I forget what they call themselves, the Odinists. There's a I think it's a Treu, I think, or something like that. There is a group of neo-pagans who, you know, claim to worship the old gods. The problem is, and this guy's pointed it out in a number of his videos, it's not them know what the fuck they're doing because none of the records of any of those rituals or practices survived deliberately because of the Christian occupation.
Hell, Rome made a hell of a dent in most of your Celtic and animistic religions.
Yeah, but what he's talking about is it comes from the Turkish culture, and if you think about it, I mean, I was thinking about think about the battles of Constantinople,
Mm-hmm.
and the way the Vikings were battling those guys, and in the end they had to literally capitulate. But what is the point of this video? That what we're changing the way that whatever spoken word became written word, and now we're changing everything.
I think it's because of a specific comparison that Story himself did actually make in the Prose Edda, that they that they're now modern scholars are saying, oh well, because he said this thing, this must have originated in a place where nobody has ever said that any of this stuff is connected to, which he is getting to in the video. And also,
Okay.
Shadow, thank you, Asatru, not Atreyu.
Not a
Dear
tree.
God.
He hits on a solution to who they are that actually is hit upon by other people in the medieval world too, which is, well, you know, educated Christians at this time have read classical literature like the Iliad and the Odyssey. They know who the Greeks are, but who are the Trojans? And the solution is, we are the Trojans, or our glorious forebears are the Trojans, or the so-called gods they worshipped were the Trojans. So Snorri says, okay, so I'm going to take the Norse gods and I'm going to figure out who they are in the Trojan stories. And he forces their names to kind of, kind of fit. Probably the best job that he does is like Thor and Hector. It's like, okay, like you can kind of vaguely see it, but those words don't have anything to do with each other. You can account for the history of both words within their own languages, Greek and Old Norse. Thor means thunder in Old Norse. It's the same actually root word as English thunder. But he jams all these names together and he says, see, that's who they are. And what he's trying to do is say our ancestors weren't evil for worshiping other gods. They were misled by these fantastic human beings from far away who came and convinced them that they were gods. So it's actually him. It's a strange example of the much dreaded quote unquote Christian influence on these stories that Snorri is trying to make his forebears look better in medieval Christian eyes by saying, well, no, these were actually Trojans who showed up and misled them. But none of the poems that survive from the actual pre-Christian period that we have, for example, in the Poetic Edda, ever mention Turkey or Troy or Hector or Odysseus or any of this stuff, right? No one in the pre-Christian period thought that the gods were from there. And Snorri's identification of, like Asia with Oscar, they're completely fictional. Hi, I'm Old Norse specialist Dr. Jackson Crawford.
Okay.
Indeed. And for those, I did just get a question about this. So for those of you who aren't aware, if you pay attention to the descriptions of the journeys taken in the Iliad and whatnot, and the location of, Mycenae versus Troy and all that sort of thing, the city of Troy most likely was on the coast of what is modern Turkey today on the Aegean.
But I'm
most
so
likely.
I'm so confused, Samuel. What does this have to do? Like, what does Norse, pagan, old, worshiping different gods mythology has to do with the Iliad or Odyssey?
Well, that's what he's getting at, and
brain. Like, I don't understand where the connection is.
Well, like the connection is that Snorri in the Poetic Edda compared, and in external writings compared, Norse pantheon characters, Norse mythological figures, to characters mentioned in the Iliad. Right, like he tried to make it to conflate Hector from the Iliad with Thor to say we are Troy.
Any culture, you can take that from any like Native American tribe or any like African tribe. You can jump hoops.
Sure. And this was largely ignored for hundreds of years.
I just don't see every religion, every kind of culture has similar representations of certain gods or whatever, what do you call them? I forget the name, or one god only. But what is the point here? Like the Greek mythology, Norse mythology, Christian mythology, they're all separate. Yeah, they all share a certain thing in common. But what is nobody cares. I don't care. Do you care?
I kind of do. That's why I brought it up.
Oh, devil.
So, but yes, and hello, Devil.
Hello.
I guess the point is like as you were saying, like nobody did care for a long time. It was largely ignored because it was like whatever. This guy said this thing. It's it doesn't really matter. They're obviously two separate things. But in recent years, particularly in the West and particularly in the United States, this has been a trend where things that belong to certain cultures are being co-opted by other cultures, and not in a we're sharing your culture kind of way, but in a it was ours first and you stole it from us kind of way. And this whole, the Norse gods were really Trojan figures is exactly that in the way that it's being presented now all over it. And this is a very recent phenomenon that I've been seeing online is people are talking about, oh my gosh, they really got all of their stuff from Troy, from Turkey, from the Middle East, just like, this and that. And it's like, no, they didn't. This was one dude who was trying to make it palatable for his fellow Christians in Iceland.
No.
Okay, so I'm leaving the public space, so I can actually talk to you guys now. Yeah, no, Sam's 100% correct. This isn't about the use of words or changing or comparing things. This is about the lens of which it's presented in. So the whole, this is like the North being changed. It wasn't just
Dude, the wind.
Bro.
Parachuting out of a plane or something to do?
Yeah, it must be.
No, I'm walking in my car and I got hit with a gust of wind.
And the gusts of winds end. They stop happening.
Yeah, because unlike you people, I go outside and touch grass.
No, I disagree with you. I think it is about.
Fuck you mean by you people?
I think it is about the use of words.
Well, no, so
whether spoken or written down, it is about the use of words.
Well, so words are just codification of information utilizing sounds to be transmitted from person to person. Ideas.
Did he turn you into a robot or something? Huh.
No, I don't think so.
He's getting.
Wait, was that like was that a audio issue or was that like the word choice I used issue?
Audio, I believe.
This is going to be a great show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad I've showed up here to do this. We're going to continue with this entire theme of bad microphones, terrible connection, and horrible crossover references. It's going to be amazing.
Is that better?
Thank you.
Yes, it is better.
Okay, fine. So what I was saying was it's not necessarily the word choice or the comparison of like Thor to Hector. It's the ideas that are attached to it. So if you're comparing Thor to Hector, Thor is a completely different entity from Hector. But when you're attempting to go, hey, they're the same thing, you're ascribing certain values that are not attached to the Norse virtues to a Norse character. And if that's the story that you're telling, eventually that character ceases to be of that identity.
I'll stop you right there because you're talking about like you know about it. What are the Norse virtues?
We don't know because they were basically wiped out or supplanted by Christian versions of that. That's what Sam's getting to is a lot of these stories because they were like stored or transcribed from the Christian lens means we no longer know the true versions of them. It's the same thing that happened to the Proto-Celts and the Celts. We think we kind of know what they valued, but all of it's from a lens of either their conquerors or people who observed them. So we don't actually know what their intent was, what their values were, what their morals were, because everything is presented from a lens of someone who was not them. Like if in 1,000 years someone tried to speak to the American morals and identity, if America gets wiped out by insert Centralian forces here, and then everything we know about America is from a Centralian lens, well, you actually will never know what American ideals were because it's supplanted.
So there's a key difference here, kid. I'm right with you on this, but there is a key difference here, kid. And I do believe I mentioned it earlier. One of the biggest problems with this is that the Old Norse typically, unless it was limericks on fucking pieces of charred wood, didn't write shit down. Like even the Aztecs conquered by the Spanish, like brought down low, you know, and their empire was ended and all that. We still know what they thought because they wrote shit down.
That's what I'm saying. All of the information we have is from a Christian lens. Thus, all the information we have is inherently going to be shifted in a Christian way. It's one of the reasons I find all these freaking And when I say pagan LARPers, I'm not counting Sam. I mean the fucking like cringe white nationalists or the fucking yoga moms. Those kinds of pagan LARPers where
Some of them are
everything
just
they
straight
say,
up Satanists, dude. But yeah,
yeah, every single thing they say and do is is basically just Christianity with a mask attached, where they think, like they want the Christian outlook of the world, but they don't want Jesus attached to it. It's kind of the same thing where a lot of these stories we have about the Norse are basically a Christian interpretation of the Norse stories. They've been, even if it wasn't intentional, the Christian outlook and retelling of the story have warped them into something intrinsically Christian. It's why you can't like disconnect European civilization from Christianity, because it's been told for so long under that lens that it's like unseparable.
But it wouldn't even matter if they wrote a bunch of shit down, because let's not forget, when Christians took over a place, they also tend to destroy the stuff that was before and rewrite it in their own word too. So even if they wrote it all down, doesn't mean we would have a large knowledge of it. It's still we'd still be getting it through the lens of Christianity.
I again, I would agree with you, but you know, we actually have the Aztec Codex, right? Which is the only reason we were able to transcribe any of the stuff that was on their temples and in other places.
They just didn't do a good job that time. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, you know, actually, like the Codex itself still exists, right? Right. It wasn't also destroyed.
The really funny thing about that, Devil, is separate from the Codex, a lot of the stuff we do know about Aztec and other cultures from the area, separate from that Codex, was because a bunch of Christian monks looked at what the conquistadors were doing and went, "That's fucking evil. We need to protect these people," and then actually preserved aspects of the culture.
Son.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
Yeah.
There was one specific priest. The rest were Jesuits, and they say everybody eats people. Everywhere they go, everywhere on earth, these damn pagans are eating people.
To be fair, some of the Jesuits were eaten in certain places.
Well, and I'm gonna push back on that, because there are records of the monarchy trying to displace and convert. Or not convert. They were trying to displace native populations in their territories in New Spain, in New Portugal, etc. And the monks who had been given that territory said, "Fuck you, these are our flock." Was their intention to convert them to Christianity at the end of the day? Absolutely. But they did take measures to codify and preserve that information as a way to ingratiate themselves to the locals. It was a negative. It wasn't a selfless act, but it did a good thing in preserving their culture. But people will consume what was written from a Christian lens because it was written in a Christian lens. And whether you're an atheist, a Christian, a faux pagan, a real pagan, if you live in the West, you are so immersed in a Christian outlook that you're going to consume it from that outlook.
Sure. And look, I'm not saying that you know, like whoever does end up writing the things down is obviously, as you're saying, going to color it through their own lens. That's unavoidable. That's just the way of people, you know. But that said, in this particular case, like as Crawford was saying, right, we know what Snorri was doing, right? Now, we obviously can't go back and say, you know, like, oh, well, he was wrong about this, and this, because there's not like a lot of shit preceding what he wrote besides the Poetic Edda, which is frankly a fever dream of stories. It's a little hard to parse through. And aside from that, though, like I said, the Norse did not keep written records. So whoever did write this shit down first was going to be the authority on it. And like that, you know, Snorri took some fucking liberties, which are obviously liberties that he took, and it's fine that he did that. But now it's being used to kind of say, "Oh, look, white people didn't do anything of their own again."
I want to point something out here. You're talking about a culture who went and found a lush, green, endless location and called it Iceland. And then they found a rock with some ice on it and called it Greenland, because it is the most ironic culture in the history of humanity that I've found yet. I have no problem with them ironically. And the only thing you find written in the Old Norse are, like Sam says, little dirty limericks and jokes and references to people's mamas and shit, and it's hilarious.
Damn,
It is one of
first ones, the Norse, the what?
no
Vikinger were
the
first
first. They
ones
were
to
not
come up
first.
with rap. They had rap
Yeah.
battles before
And your
anybody
mama
else.
jokes.
Oh, that's called. That was flighting, right? I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, fighting. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, and it had the same rules as modern rap battles, right? It had to rhyme, it had to flow, and it had to be true.
I don't think that last
Right.
one applies to modern rap battles, but other than that, I do agree.
No, in actual modern rap battles and street level battles, yeah, you can't just make something up about somebody. It's got to be something that actually.
Oh, okay.
Is
It
a
has,
thing.
to, it has to be insulting, and it has to really like get
It has
at
to have
you.
a real basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen Candy Store Gangsters and white hard R's do that shit. So yeah, that's what I was drawing from.
But yeah, no, in the actual rules of street rap battling, yes, it has to be true. Like if you're just making shit up for the rhyme or whatever, you actually lose points and respect.
Yeah. But going back to what you're all saying, it came from storytelling, from sitting by the fire and actually telling a story than somebody else. And this goes to either any kind of scriptures, religion, or anything else. And people were just telling stories, and then it was word of mouth and going to the other person, and then and then somebody started writing this stuff down. And I don't know what the issue here is. No,
And then we
because-
got Twilight.
issue with the Turks,
So-
yes, there was interactions. Yes, there was interactions with other cultures, but that is a completely different society, completely different culture, built on its own fjord, and with the way that they have their food. I don't want to get into food
So-
right, but
Yes.
What Sam's complaint is the fact that
sorry, Shadu, go ahead.
what Sam's complaint, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but what Sam's complaint is you've got people coming into an area and they're attempting to subvert things that have meaning to people as a justification for their existence. They're going, hey, this thing that you care about that is attached to your existence, actually, it's our thing. Christians did the same shit when they were moving into Europe with the whole hey, that tree, that like, what are you doing with that tree? Oh, it's our winter festival. That tree's connected to our God, so you should let us be involved in your little celebration. And now we have Christmas. It's the same shit where you have you've got people from the Middle East coming in and going, hey, this like mythology that you guys say your forebears loved, that's actually us. There was a video of a woman. I can't remember if she was a convert or not, but it was in Britain, and she was trying to explain that the English breakfast is actually Muslim.
Okay, I think you're.
I mean, it is now.
I think you're doing a Trojan horse right now.
I'm not.
It's more of a Constantinople horse in this case.
No, I would. Yeah, I'm not duplicitous. I'm not smart enough to be duplicitous. I just run at you straight in front of you. Sam's the one duplicitous enough to do a horse.
I don't appreciate being compared to Mr. Hands. Thank you very much.
Yes, someone picked up on the human claw Washington reference.
I think we're going to stop inviting the kid.
It's probably necessary.
I was not invited. I slithered in. I freaking fire and closed with the enemy, and then I fucking cover and moved and got in here.
Aren't we all a little tired of the babysitting?
Nah, it's my shtick, Dove.
I'm 23 now. Fuck you.
Like you're still a baby.
Have to keep you safe. Should do.
If I'm old enough to have carried you in my balls at one point, you're still a kid.
The good question here is the balance between like where do I stop caring and where do I actually care, because it does matter to me where certain cultures are being hijacked or history is being misrepresented, but does that impact me in any way? Yeah, it does. It does have like a moral impact on me, but does it impact my income, the way I live my life? No, not really.
Well, that's what they want.
Here.
They want you to not care. They want you to just see it as an annoyance, but not something you should really worry and give any time to. That's exactly what they want. They want you to be what's the word for it?
Boil the frog.
Sure, exactly. Yeah, they want you to just ignore it. They're expecting people to, and it's a war of attrition at this point, that
Yeah.
they expect that eventually we're us culture warriors, or whatever you want to call us, the people who are commenting on why do you turn this character black, why do you turn this character into a woman. They want us to get so annoyed and so just like fed up with it that we just kind of check out. Why? Because then they can just sit there, manipulate all the normies who are just not intelligent enough to see how they're being manipulated, and go about their business of changing
Okay.
everything.
I have a question for you, Dev. Why is it your job to turn normies into enlightened people, or any of us? Why?
Because you either kneel down and take it, or you fucking fight. And I'm
No,
not gonna let them
be
take my
like, oh
culture
no,
and ruin my fucking stuff I
no,
love without a
I
fight.
don't want to fight. I can speak my opinion. I don't want to fight anymore. I don't care. You go and live your life the way you want to live it.
Nope.
Be
I'm
an
gonna continue to fight for
be
it.
retarded. Sorry, Sam. On your stream, be retarded. Be the non-enlightened person. Why is it my job, your job, any other person's job to enlighten people?
It's not a job. It's not my job. It's something I do because I care about the stuff and I want to fight for it. If you don't fight for what you love, if you don't fight for what you care about, and you let somebody take it, I'm one of those people that everyone. It's like the Indians with their they took our land. No, it was conquered land.
Yeah.
You don't own nothing unless you're willing to fight for it. You don't get possessions 9/10 of gray. That's fine. If you say this is mine, if you can't defend it, if you can't protect it, if you can't keep people from taking it from you, it's not yours. And so it's the same thing with our IPs. If we don't fight for them, if we don't fucking sit here and try to fight back these assholes who are trying to ruin everything because of their gay ass ideology, then we have no right to it.
Oh,
you know,
it's
what all of you are saying is that history is important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, if we go back to what we started with, how do we know what's true, what's not true? It was all spoken word.
Well,
I mean, to be fair, there's a point there, Annan. That as far as any historical context goes, yeah, we only know what we've been told. You're 100% right about that. You know, but
let me
if
kind
we
of
take the view that we can't ever know anything for sure, right? Then what's the point of doing anything about anything ever?
Exactly.
But we can also assume certain things. Like we can assume that when the Norse were worshiping, let's say Thor, that he didn't look like Michael Clark Duncan, right? I'm just assuming that's not what they pictured when they pictured Thor.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Although to be fair, he probably would have been a pretty awesome Thor. I liked Michael Clark Duncan. I thought he was great in a bunch of shit.
In his leopard thong from
he was dude, he was absolutely
Armageddon.
The best. He was absolutely the best part of that Ben Affleck shitstorm Daredevil. And he was playing a white dude in that, sort of. He was still black, but he was playing a white character. Also, Daredevil. That movie is fucking awful.
And that again, I mean, that is diluting the importance of like firsthand. You have secondary evidence. You have firsthand evidence. The Norse were white people. They did not come from Turkey.
White.
Their culture did not come from Turkey. Have the archaeological, everything is there to show this. So don't start diluting this with ideologies or any of this blah blah new age history stuff that people are doing. Because if you get into that, we can change all of history. And that's very dangerous. And that's what I'm getting. I don't care if it was spoken word and then it became written word, whether it was Snorri who came in and tried to change it more into a Christian interpretation. At the end of the day, the majority of Scandinavians are Norse-looking Scandinavian people. They are not Turkish. They have no Turkish background. They have interacted with people because they went everywhere. There were seafaring people. And they explored, went on adventures, and did things. And yes, they interacted, had kids here and there, just like the Mongolians went out there. Genghis Khan went and basically populated the whole of today's Russia with his kids and everything. But it's history is history. Fact is fact. Don't change facts.
Well, and to I don't know if this adds to that or not, but I do want to point out that as far as I know, the only early interaction that anybody from the Northlands ever had with anybody from the Middle East was what was the guy's name? It was like Ahmad ibn Fadlan or whatever, the guy who
Al-Abbas,
the traveler,
Ibn Al-Abbas of the Lion.
No, this is the guy who traveled around, and he was the scholar from Saudi or some shit.
I know who you're talking about. He was the one who wrote those in his journal about when he encountered the Vikings, right, for the first time.
Yeah, but I think specifically they were Rus Vikings that he encountered, and not Norse Vikings.
Yeah.
I don't remember his first name, but you're talking about the explorer Ibn al-Abbas. Like he went up north and he was just absolutely horrified by some of the practices of the quote unquote barbarians he encountered. Like he
was horrified and he was fascinated. He wrote down a bunch of shit. Yeah. Some of it was very complimentary, man. He's also the guy whose journals is what Michael Crichton based Eaters of the Dead on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which became the 13th Warrior in movie speak.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Antonio Banderas, a Spaniard, played him. Good movie, by the way, and book. But
I do like that movie.
Yeah, but I mean, they're semi-fictionalized accounts based on actual journals by, I think, the only Arab to ever travel that far north at that time,
or at least the only Arab who kept records of that shit
that survived.
And also the fact is it's not just what they're doing; it's why they're doing it. Intent is a big thing for me, and it's the same thing as any of the movies where they change characters when they're doing it for an ideological reason.
Oh, this isn't about movies.
No, it's about the it's not about the Odyssey. We're not talking about them changing.
No, we're talking about Norse. We're talking about the Norse pagans, about how people are trying to say actually the Norse culture is Turkish, and because the Turks are modern day like.
But we're not talking about that
modern day other. You have to accept them. No, we're not talking about I don't think we're talking about the Odyssey.
Because I thought that's maybe what started the conversation was the whole Odyssey that Africans inspired.
Connected to Homer's Odyssey, not so much the Nolan film. Like we weren't really talking about the film, that sort of thing. Essentially, what it is there's been an uptick in communities online of people saying that Norse gods are actually inspired by, Trojan. Characters and Greek heroes and that sort of thing, that all of their mythology was adapted from Turkish stories, which is objectively untrue because of something that the guy who translated the Poetic Edda into the Prose Edda said to make it fit in with his more contemporary Christian buddies, being a Christian himself when he was writing this shit down.
Okay.
So they're taking something that was done hundreds of years ago and they're applying it as fact to change I fucking hate saying it like this, but to change the narrative on white people once again.
Yeah. In order to control the cultural consensus, in order to justify actions which lead to the conquest of the West.
Did I mention this week that I hate everything?
Welcome to the party. We've got a seat to your right, the ice maker's in the back. We've got cookies.
Thank you. Thank
you. See, this is why I stare down people who consume the red pill and the blue pill, and I just sit here holding my fucking lead pill, just like we're all gonna fucking die.
Is that lead pill administered anally?
No, usually orally, kind of like Van Gogh's last painting, 9mm specifically.
Could you imagine that? He's all like, I'm gonna do it, guys. He's got the gun held to his ass. One more step, man. I'm pulling the trigger.
To be fair, I should make this very clear. I am in no way encouraging making fun of the ridiculously high suicide rate of veterans in any way. As a matter of fact, I think,
especially not anally,
they have one in the United States. They have one of the single highest rates of suicide among any group, short of like maybe trannies and dentists.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, trannies are rates of trannies are only found in like schizophrenics and shit like that.
Yeah. Wasn't there like a thing that showed that like slaves had less of a suicide rate than trannies?
And dentists.
Yeah, no. Slaves and
people
fucking
keep sleeping on the
apes.
dentist suicide rate, but it is way too high.
Yeah. Slaves
I
in
wonder-
fucking Haiti had a lower suicide rate than trannies. Fucking Jews in the Holocaust had a lower suicide rate than trannies.
I wonder about the homosexual rate in vagina doctors.
Non-existent.
They don't.
Like,
They don't
how
bring
many
it to
of
you
them are
unless there's
gay?
something wrong with it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like it's like you don't want to do what you love as a job if you love, and don't go looking at girls when they're at their worst down there, right? So, like,
I would be curious as to how many of them started out with high hopes, like many a young boy who dreams before they actually go down a particular career path, and had those dreams dashed and are now jaded and just disgusted by the opposite sex.
that's all. I'm gonna be a
It's like dental
gynecologist.
hygienists can't kiss people, you know,
Yeah.
because they know what goes on in there.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
am,
get the-
I am remembering some very disgusting images I was shown during briefs involving self-care and healthcare. I'm eating food at the same time. Thank you all for that.
You're welcome. You're so very welcome. You knew it was going
We
to happen,
tried.
though. It's not my fault you decided this was dinner time.
Yeah,
Hardy
I did not
has
have
an
good.
excellent point.
I did not make use of time-space logistics planning when it came to planning my day very well. But hey, this Peruvian chicken is pretty fucking gas. So you know.
Which one, Sasquatch? Was it the one about cheese, or was it
The one about in Canada that is government funded? Yeah.
In Canada? Yes. In Canada, well, they just like off on their own people.
Yeah, don't you like that? Go fight for us, and when you come back traumatized from fighting for us, we'll help you end it. You know,
Oh, you guys talking
take
about
you out of our
you guys talking
misery.
about MAID?
It as it applies to veterans specifically, yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember a few years back I saw a story that made my blood boil, where a woman who got like they acknowledged, yeah, your fucking disability was service related, which is already really fucking hard to do no matter the country. She was having trouble going up and down the stairs in her home. And so she's like, hey, I can't do this because I got injured fighting your war. Can you guys help me? And they looked at all the options, and the doctor recommended one of those chairs that goes up and down the stairs for you. I don't remember what they're called, but you see it in the movie Up. And so they're given the bill, the government's given the bill, and they look at that and go, I think it would be cheaper if you just took MAID. And they denied her request and offered her MAID. I don't know if she killed herself or if she found an alternative, but like that, I read that, and that
an alternative not killing yourself.
I don't know, finding some way to get the funds herself, or maybe moving in with a caregiver or a family member, or something other than having ending her own life. But I read that and that made my blood boil, because you look at how much money they spend on helping criminals restart their lives only for them to start killing people again, or importing a bunch of fucking importing foreigners in as opposed to helping the people who sacrifice for their country. I think that is a little bit less vulgar than how I wanted to say that. And then you look at stories like this where, yeah, we have to take these cost-cutting measures by telling a veteran to end her life because it's convenient for us. Makes my blood boil.
Thank you for your service. Here's a pill to get you out of our hair.
Yeah, if they told if they told my grandfather that, who, by the way, he was supposed to be an aerial photographer, and they gave him a rifle and sent him on patrols in Nam just because some jackass thought it'd be a funny idea. If they looked at him and told him, sorry, the injuries, I mean, he's not debilitated, but the psychological and the hearing problems, he's not missing limbs, but there is, if you're in a warscape, you're gonna suffer some kind of issues. If he went to the VA and was like, hey, these are my service related injuries from you guys not even letting me do my MOS but from you guys sticking me into an infantryman role when I'm a fucking Air Force aerial photographer, and they went, sorry, we can't help you because it's expensive, but we can help you end your life. Like, fuck that noise.
Well, that's the thing is they'll sit there and bitch about how much it costs to you know, for the medical for all these soldiers and shit like that. Well, then here's an idea. Don't fucking send them to war. Don't go starting fucking wars that you have to sacrifice their well-being, their fucking goddamn mental health, their fucking rest of their life and how it's going to be for them on to go get oil or whatever, you pieces of shit, right?
Or
just like
if you
can't afford the bill, don't fucking write the check, right? It's stupid.
If you have to write that check, don't write the one for housing foreigners. Don't give away subsidies to people who don't deserve it.
Oh, see, now you're hitting on the head of the.
They're called new Americans.
Exactly
Shut up.
why they can't afford to take care of their own. It's because they're spending all this money on people who aren't their own.
Well, no. It's not their own. It's not. The senatorial class focuses on the roles of the senatorial class. The equestrians, the plebeians, the freedmen, the slaves, the traders, the merchants, all of those people don't fucking matter because they're not senatorial.
You really have to start using class descriptions that actually apply in the 21st century.
The bureaucratic apparatus, the political apparatus, the martial caste.
There you go.
The
common
priests,
usage.
The business caste, the worker caste, the fast food worker caste, the streamer caste.
Because
only the streamers, bureaucrats, and politicians.
Every single time you say equestrians, do you know what that brings to mind in the modern era, in common modern usage? Horse enthusiasts at fucking country clubs. That's it. That's all it is. There's no other implication there because
there's one other implication of horse enthusiasts. The Mongolians were quite fond of their horses.
Again, we're not talking about Mr. Hands.
It's not my fault the average person is not as learned as they reasonably should be.
Well, it is kind of your fault that you keep talking at him with terms that haven't been in popular and common usage in modern American English in about 500 fucking years. Yes.
Apologies for having expecting a higher caliber level of intelligence from my fellow citizen.
See, that is the most retarded thing you've ever said.
Hey, unlike presidents who dumb down their speeches to appeal to a dumber population, I expect competency from my fellow Americans.
Shadu. Sir, that has layers of stupidity.
Okay. Is it wrong?
Yes. You are incorrect in believing any level of education or intelligence from anyone in America. When you find it, you should rejoice, but you should not expect it. We are idiots.
Nowadays, you go back and read some of the letters from conscripted.
I'm not talking about conscripted soldiers 150 years ago. I'm talking about the people you're talking to right now.
Yeah, and no, that's my point. You've got a populace who have been intentionally dumbed down over the course of 200 years. So now you have to talk to them like they're fucking first graders if they're adults, and that's insulting.
You're a point.
Hey, wait a second. What do you mean dumbed down over the course of 200 years?
If you look at letters written by random line soldiers from like 1860s during the Civil War, they had a better vocabulary and a better understanding of the world around them than modern day Americans do. And you could also track that by political speeches and campaigns where presidents had to speak at like a college level back in the 40s, and now they speak at a fucking third grade level because the average American cannot comprehend higher concepts.
Okay, so you're aware of the ridiculousness of your assumption to expect anything from these people, yet you can still state that they are complete morons. I'm baffled.
No.
See, where I'm baffled is the constant expectation of people to do better when you know, in fact, that they are not going to do better, and yet still throw shit at the wall, like equestrian, for example, despite the fact that that only has one meaning in common modern usage.
Because if I stop thinking there's a potential of intelligence, then I'll start thinking I'm better than people, and I've been told that's a bad idea.
You already think that. That's very obvious.
No, I've been working on it. I've actually made a conscious effort to not have that be my first line thought because it makes me a bad person.
I mean, I'll just leave that right where you left it.
Yeah.
So I'm not just, horse people. Yeah, I mean, but in this modern day and age, it's not a social class. It's a hobby. That's all I'm getting at. So when you say that as you meant it, which I understand because you and I have had this conversation both publicly and privately before. I understand what you mean by this. Most people aren't going to cotton onto it because whether or not you think we should be more educated and educated well enough to use outdated, archaic terms that no longer mean what they did, you can't expect that. You got to use the modern vernacular to again, I'm going to caveat that to a point, right? With none of this 6-7 bullshit. But so yeah, you gotta be able to speak to your audience, man. That
Can I say Rizzler?
How presidents see that's like retarded do speak that I don't jive with because I'm old. For instance. But that doesn't mean that there aren't people who won't understand exactly what you're saying with that. I'm not one of them.
Just get on the train, Sam. Come on, Devil. We're all getting on the train. Come on.
I'm only getting on this train if it's going to Buchenwald.
I'm looking at the comment. I'm looking at the comments, and I love all the people that I pissed off. I apologize for nothing.
It's a shorter list of the people you haven't pissed off.
Yes.
Well,
Justify Patriot. He says, I don't know his name, but that one guy needs to check his ego.
This is me checking my ego. This is me checking my motherfucking ego.
Here's the thing. On this panel, I'm not 100% sure who Patriot's talking about.
Yeah, see right there. I need to check my ego. I'm assuming it's me.
That's the problem. That's all ego, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, in my brain, there's two voices. There's you're a fucking god, act like it, and there's you're a piece of trash, act like it. One of those voices is louder right now. I'll let you guess.
Anyway, Powder Dusty, welcome in. Good to see you, brother.
Wow.
Shall we move on?
We could try, but I mean, Shadow's just going to bring it back to another dark chapter of human history. So let's do it.
All right. So next up, again, I don't think we need to read the entire thing here, but there is a novel.
I'll go for that first part. That first part I'll do.
So
this is from Skywatch Signal. Go ahead.
Yeah, this goes on and on and on for a while. Basically, Skywatch Signal is an account that focuses on UFOs and ETs and that sort of thing. And they're very, very upset that the White House and DHS pulled a bait and switch with aliens.gov.
Mm-hmm.
Skywatch Signal at UAP Watchers, aliens.gov was not UFO disclosure. How the White House used UFO hype to push immigration messaging. The White House launched aliens.gov, but the site is not about extraterrestrials, UAP, UFO files, crash retrievals, or non-human intelligence. The domain redirects... Damn it, man. Fucking so loud. Redirects to the White House page called Aliens, styled like a declassified UFO project. The page uses phrases such as "they walk among us," "top secret," "alien arrest map," "classified addendum," and "Trump administration declassification," then reveals the twist that they weren't little green men but millions of illegal immigrants who, according to the site, invaded our country under the cover of darkness. The page ends with "secure the border and deport them all." I see nothing wrong with this.
Dude, if this, I kind of get where he's talking about how maybe the White House shouldn't be fucking trolling people, but I kind of understand that there should be, I think, probably more decorum than there is with this sort of thing. But if it had been anybody else, that's an epic fucking troll.
Yes.
The only thing that would have been better is if it was released on April 1st.
Right. But I mean, we all knew we were just going to get a bunch of bullshit with them from the aliens. I was hoping that there would be more to that, but as far as we can tell, most of it's nonsense when they released quote unquote the UFO files, which Whatever. But it is funny that they registered alien.gov and aliens.gov and then assigned them to pages involving ICE and DHS.
You didn't really think they were gonna like roll out the Asgards, do you? Like they were gonna walk out with the little the Greys and freaking.
No. I just I was hoping that there was something more to it because there's always been that suspicion, right? The whole Roswell 47 thing. But
really, Sam, you really thought that they were going to do that?
I didn't say thought. I said hoped.
I was expecting more along the lines of the Fallout disclosure, where they find it frozen in a refrigerator. Their response is, "Finally, cold beer!" And just throws the body out of it, closes it, drags off the machine.
Now, right. Sam, you know better than to hope.
I know,
right? I was going to go there.
Fucking teeth for it, but I keep doing it anyway. It's what they say: hope springs eternal, as it were. Yeah, we come in peace, pew pew. True, and like I said, I mean, I'm obviously of the later on in the volume of this text wall. He goes on to stop referring to them by the way that they're being referred to here, which is aliens, which, by the way, is the legally definite term for anybody who is not a citizen, right? Mm-hmm. There are legal aliens, there are illegal aliens, but if you are not a citizen, you are an alien. It's that simple. And I do believe we're not the only country that uses that term, in that particular regard. I mean, obviously, some have more specific white devil terms like gaijin.
They're gonna peace be upon you to death out here.
They might do that. It's just, I think that this guy's not only upset that they I guess the gist of it is that he's like, look, if they were gonna do this, they should have given us a heads up or let us know, because this damages the UAP community and damages our credibility. I was like, you guys haven't furnished any fucking proof either, though. It's like you keep it's fine. Like this is one of the reasons that hopeful is not the same as believer, right? Is because I haven't seen fucking proof one way or the other from anybody.
You've never seen a UAP?
I've seen some weird shit that I can't fucking classify, but I don't know what it was, and I can't definitely say for sure it was one thing and not another.
Huh.
And I obviously don't have any video footage of it, or I'd put it up on the screen.
Yeah. Listen, whatever these freaking extraterrestrials are planning, I need them to get it done with, okay? Either I want to fight them or I want to fight for them. Stop playing with me. Stop edging me. Just let me get into it, okay? I want to fight on Mars. Let's do this.
We've
sounds like you want to fuck him.
He wants to fuck him or kill him. Possibly both, hopefully in that order.
Yes. That to quote Alex Jones, I am a human supremacist. When faced with an alien, you fight him or fuck him. There is no in between.
What if they fuck you?
He's like, let's get the sex over with. I want to kill you.
It's still accomplished.
Listen, okay, if they look like Liara Tassoni from Mass Effect, I'm down. If they look like Jar Jar Binks, I'm committing a genocide. There is no in between.
What if they're like the Thermians from Galaxy Quest and they only sort of look like that because they've got, images?
You mean the Asari from Mass Effect, of which Liara Tassoni is a member of that race? Yes,
no,
I've
mean specifically the Thermians, the tentacled puppet-looking dudes.
Yeah, that's what Asari
don't you
are.
Love how Sam goes right to the ones with tentacles? Like,
Sam,
why would they not have tentacles?
Sam, I hate to tell you this. If you've ever played Mass Effect, that's what the Asari are. They're a massive tentacles.
Yes,
they just masquerade it.
I've played all of them, even the bad one.
A matriarchal society where they literally want to be all women in charge. How do you like that, Shadu?
It's because they're physiologically incapable of producing males, and the whole female appearance is more of a. And the female appearance is actually a fucking lie that they use to lure in others from other species. It's not a female dominance, it's an Asari dominance. Their goal is to breed the rest of the galaxy into being themselves.
Death by snoo.
Like, unironically, Sam probably loves them out of a lot of aliens because they're a Cthulhu-level monster that's dressed up with tits.
Hey. I'm just saying. Liara, best girl.
I mean, second best girl. Miranda's right there.
Miranda's a fucking product from a test tube. Fuck that.
I will.
Very
Actually,
sexy.
no. Liara's third best girl. It's Miranda, Ashley, then Liara.
Fine, we'll just have to have sex with them all. Damn.
No, not you.
Well,
I will.
we're either gonna have sex with them or cook them.
Yeah, no, Devil, you get Rex.
Ardent Party is on it. There will be some Appalachian grandma out there that figures out these make an excellent shrimp bisque.
Well, I'm not an Appalachian grandma. When I kill it, she can have it. Until then, I fight it or I fuck it.
Oh yeah. He did say
we're
that. Yet
sending
again,
him
I
over to the
forced
Middle
to
East.
point out there's a third option. I guarantee you some Appalachian grandma will figure out whether or not aliens are good and stew. That's true. And they probably taste like calamari. That's also true. But also, I think Old Blindy has a point. He says the future is crab, sir. Tentacles are an evolutionary dead end. Now, yes, carcinization is a very real thing.
It's actually octopus. If we went extinct, a lot of scientists said that if we went extinct as human beings, then octopus would actually go. Octopi, sorry, plural.
I think
would take
octopi and octopuses are both acceptable plural.
But Octopussy is a Bond movie.
I appeal to both British and American. They would take over.
Yeah, but given what we suspect about their intelligence, there's actually no reason why they haven't taken over already.
Oh, octopi?
Yeah. So I don't know that they necessarily
actually
would take over after we were gone. They probably would continue doing what they're doing now.
Yeah. No, that's actually that's.
Imagine the songs they will sing, the non-written stories they will tell.
Yeah.
Let's see how that works in a couple of million years. Yeah. But going back to your point, Sam, about what you were bringing up. Okay, so aliens. Okay, yeah, and all this stuff about this culture is that culture, and we need to protect our own. And at the end of the day, who cares? I don't.
Well, again, it's not really about aliens. It's about alien and UFO and UAP enthusiasts being upset that the White House trolled them, and they think that it harmed the UAP enthusiast community. I think that there probably aren't enough of them to be harmed by reputation at this point. But all right. Like it's not like in the States anyway, they don't have like a sterling reputation of, they tend to be mocked a lot here, generally speaking, as kooks. I'm not saying there's nothing to what they think. I'm just saying that, like your credibility wasn't exactly high on the social register as it was, man. I don't think this hurt you guys that much.
So when they had that congressional hearing with Dave Grush and a whole bunch of people from the military, like that was incredible enough for everyone.
I don't know that it was. It's hard to tell because here's the thing, Anna. You might not be aware of this, but our government lies to us constantly about everything.
Oh wow, that's
So,
a new concept.
No.
Yeah.
No,
It's
Anna,
patently American.
And it's straight up gotten to the point that unless I'm having to sign a piece of paper that says I will not talk about this to anyone, I could fucking see an alien shoot someone right in front of me in the parking lot I'm in, and I would think that that's just some bullshit. I would think that that's like a troll or some TikTok stunt or something, unless I'm signing a piece of paper that I know is from like a member of the government telling me I will be shot if I talk about this to anyone. I do not trust the government in any meaningful capacity. And the only reason I trust that piece of paper is because Dirk wrote it.
Like the Men in Black, right? Should you?
No, I wouldn't even trust them. They're not the government.
Also, they erase your memory with a little flashy stick.
Yeah.
I have
I
to
don't
have
believe that.
I have to have a memory to erase Sam. I'm not a normal person. I'm just a fucking crazy mass occupying a bag of meat.
You are indeed a meatbag, as my very favorite Star Wars droid of all time, HK-47, would say. In an aside.
Indubitably.
Yeah. Aside. Meat bag. Sorry, my
I
the
have
Renaissance
an
Nerd was
interesting
playing KOTOR 2 again the
HK-47
other day.
reference.
Oh yeah.
Just yesterday, and I don't know why this happened, but just yesterday, my wife was playing her game and she mentioned a Star Wars robot and said it was the coolest robot ever. And I was like, well, now that's a close draw between HK-47 and I-9Y5. It's a toss-up. I-9Y5 had the jokes. HK-47 was just an absolute fucking unit.
Yeah. And kind of a dick.
Well, yeah, I mean, he had that total lack of compassion thing that most people pretend to have, but he was real.
Yeah. Like my very favorite interactions with him were the ones where he was sort of unlocking, like, you know, his dialogue and his backstory and shit like that. And the further in you get to that, like he starts slipping. Instead of calling you master, he just calls you meatbag. He's like, oh, what? No, I said master. Did you not hear me? I clearly said master, meatbag.
Yes.
He was a great fucking character, man. It really needs to
Meanwhile, I-9Y5 would transfer his brain case over into different models of robots in order to pretend to be other things, and one of which was an HK unit, and he sort of started dressing up like HK-47, and then there was a rumor that HK-47 might still be around, and he nixed that shit in the bud immediately.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's good stuff. I miss KOTOR, man. I miss that fucking those games. Those are great games. I got in this whole nostalgia kick because the Renaissance Nerd started playing it live on his channel the other day, and I'm sitting here thinking I have a copy of it, but I don't have a rig that can play it, so it's fine. I guess. So, all right.
Sorry, I had to go off.
You came
camera.
back looking like you just put some booger sugar up in the old nasal passages.
No, I had got a leg cramp. I got a tattoo on my calf the other day, and the only way he could do it using his table was like having my leg in like a specific position, and it fucked my whole leg up. And now it's just been cramping constantly. What? No, yeah. He's all, put him in the stirrups, and he starts moving up to me. Now. No, I had to lay on my stomach and like twist my leg to the side for 5 hours, and it just fucked my shit up. Now I'm leg cramped. Like it's like the 20th leg cramp that I've had in the past 2 days.
My boogers like sugars. My boogers did, but I had to stop years ago. So
It's not the effect. I just like the way it smells.
Yeah, and tastes chemically. It's the whole thing. Anyway, we're not gonna. What's this? I don't recall what this is.
I'm not sure. It says 911 breaking news.
Oh, right. Okay, so apparently, very recently in New York, I believe, like 6 people were found coming out of a fucking manhole.
Were they Jewish? Just
they were Jewish, weren't they?
I don't know that they were Jewish, but there is a kosher deli like right around the corner from there.
Of course there is.
That's how you leave cats.
So there are a few cities I know of at least 2 in New York that are largely Jewish population, and they bring people in who act as students and do the whole student visa thing to come study the Talmud or whatever. And they live here on like student loans and student visas with all of the immigrant benefits that you can imagine. And their entire, these little small towns up there, their entire economic plan is based around housing these people and basically just absorbing the money that's coming from the government through these people.
I am trying so hard not to use the word
Stop
I want to so badly.
You know, if you talk about it like that, though, you're just kind of inviting disaster.
It rhymes with neuropsych.
Okay.
given the Jewish angle, I chose not to say it because that would probably get the channel flagged.
Yeah, that one appears to have the beard.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
the whole Orthodox. I mean, it's not a real good picture. I can't swear to it, but there's something dangling over there.
Did any of y'all see that video of a dude dressed up as a wad of money getting chased by some rabbis?
Damn it.
no, I can't say I saw that.
So I saw this on Twitter, and then I looked it up to see if it was actually a thing. So apparently a group of dudes, I can't remember if it was in like a Jewish community or if it was in Israel, but there was a guy who was like dressed up for a set of a commercial or something, and the mascot of the product was a fucking living wad of money. And then because of the proximity to a Jewish community, these Orthodox Jews, like with the hat and the fucking beard, come up, see the dude, and just start chasing him, thinking he's doing like an anti-Semitic prank. And then the video starts circulating on the internet of a bunch of Jewish dudes chasing a thing of money.
Are you trying to say Jewish and Jews
Jewish,
at the same
yes.
time? I'm mixing them.
No, I'm trying not to laugh uncontrollably while also speaking. It's a very hard job.
Because it sounds like you're saying Jew is
Jewish.
Like
I'm trying to say
I
I'm trying to say Jewish while biting down a laugh. And I see this kind of shit at the same time, and I'm just like, y'all suck at PR. I cannot think of a single group of people with worse PR because you're like, no, don't make joke, like don't say this shit. It's bad. And then you do shit like this that leads to the dumb shit getting said. It's fucking hilarious.
The part that gets me, I mean, I kind of understand because if they were just in a manhole, that's probably like a sewage manhole. So they come out and they just start stripping all their clothes off. I get it. It stinks. Why were you down there in the first place? I saw somebody in some comment or other trying to defend this as DAP workers. I was like, okay, so how come the manhole cover is not blocked off? How come they don't have lights and fucking barricades up? How come they don't have somebody topside making sure people don't get run the fuck over? None of the safety protocols are in place for that, so it's clearly not DAP.
True.
You know, it's I personally, I think this is less. There were some people saying that, oh, well, it could have been somebody planning a horrible terrorist attack that got thwarted, and that's possible. But I think it's probably more likely this was some kind of thwarted heist. Or just people who really like playing into it. It could be mole people. Could be mole people. And that's the other thing. Like you gotta take into account. Like, so if these guys are Jewish, then are they like what kind of Jewish? Because there's more than one kind of group, and they don't all get along, and they don't all follow the same practices. Like you remember the tunnels a couple years ago?
I do. The ones in New York.
Yeah, with the fucking bloody mattress and all of that nonsense.
With the Jews coming out of it.
yeah. So those guys specifically were, I think, Orthodox Hasidic Jews, right?
Something
specifically. Like that. But well, no, I think Orthodox is different than Hasidic now that I think about it, because I think Ben Shapiro's Orthodox. He doesn't wear the curls though, or the beard, like they have beards. He has a little boy's beard. He doesn't have a man's beard. But they wear the big beards, and they've got the side curls and all that shit. And usually they're dressed a bit like penguins themselves, black and white suit type of stuff. Occasionally they wear a hat with a brim, but I think those guys specifically were Hasidic Jews, which are almost like an entirely separate and isolated culture in and of themselves.
Yeah.
As far as I know, a lot of other Jewish enclaves don't really get along with those guys.
Wait, is this kind of like a Sunni-Shia split where the Sunnis view the Shias as a bunch
exactly
of
like that. The Christians are just as fucking bad about this too. Every sect has its own thing, and they all think all the other sects are full of shit. And this happens in all of the major fucking Abrahamic religions.
Well, I mean, the specific comparison of Sunni and Shia is like Catholic and Catholic and Latter-day Saints. Like specifically, we can look at the Orthodox and go, okay, and I'm not Catholic. I'm assume in the role of a Catholic for the purposes of a joke. We can look at the Orthodox and go, okay, you guys missed the post, but you're largely on point. Those guys over there in Utah don't know what they're talking about. Same thing with is that kind of like what's going on with this, where you've got
essentially, like where Baptists think Lutherans are full of shit, Lutherans think Methodists are full of shit, Methodists definitely are right about Episcopalians.
I prefer the Lutheran method of futuralism.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
See, listen, as long as we can all agree that Gnostics and Cathars are full of shit, I think that's a good place to end the discussion in regards to the Christian coalition.
You don't really get the authority to do that.
Yeah.
I'll get that, don't worry, eventually.
So, point is that when you talk, like, this is one of the reasons that I do take issue with people saying it's the Jews. Okay, which ones? Be specific.
Yeah, all of them.
That's objectively inaccurate and untrue.
Every single one, all of them, even the ones that don't even know what the fuck's going on. That one specifically.
Yeah. Again, that's
the 3-year-old that can't string words together. He's the mastermind of this whole fucking thing. He's the reason why I can't get like a 9, 10.
Illustrating my point beautifully here. It's retarded to say all of them. That's just fucking dumb.
Yes.
You know?
We all know. We all know the reason why I can't get a Goth GF that will give me uppies is because the fucking bankers.
And
they
that's
don't want
the
it to
only reason that I asked which kind of Jews, if these guys were in fact Jews, because the only ones that I know for sure have a penchant for tunnels are the Hasidics in New York, specifically.
Well, the only guy that came out of here that had a sufficient beard to possibly be mistaken as one of those was that dude that came out in the monkey suit, stripped down and all white. And I think, and I might be crazy, but I think he walked off camera and came back on camera and still dressed in all white without the beard.
Which is another question. Like, were these guys even this? You know, maybe they were just dressed up to look like a certain group because they knew they would be caught on camera coming out of the fucking the manhole cover looking a certain way. How many cameras does New York City is New York City covered by? Something like 800,000
allegedly.
You know, like, they're not quite as bad as London is. London, I think, has the most CCTV cameras of any place on earth, but they're up there. You know, there's no way they wouldn't get seen, and there's no way that they wouldn't know that they wouldn't get seen. You know, unless they were not from there, I guess, then they might have not known that. But there are cameras in everything. There are cameras in fucking ATMs. They capture a lot of stuff.
Devil's advocate, most criminals aren't exactly very intelligent.
Right. How do you know these guys were criminals? I mean, they might have been committing a crime, but that might not have been.
No. Specifically your point about, like, there's cameras everywhere. Why would you do that? Like, some people just aren't very smart.
Yeah. So I don't know. I do think that, well, I don't know what to think about it. I just thought it was an oddity that came across my my feed. It's like a bunch of people came out of a sewer. They didn't actually look like what chuds really are, as opposed to the political terminology. I was referring instead to the 80s
The
movies.
time has come.
The time has come. The time has come for what? What are we talking about? All of a sudden,
I gotta go get my wife's cake. I'll be back.
Oh, right. Okay. So I will continue talking about cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers in the meantime. Which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen those movies, you definitely should. I think Daniel Stern is in one of them. That's it. That's all I got in terms of this. Like, how do we know that these guys weren't chuds just wearing fake beards?
Because they could have been Mutant Ninja Turtles wearing fake beards.
Well, they weren't quite green enough. I do believe somebody asked if they were green in the chat earlier. So
I
think
think
6 of them.
Colorblind. April O'Neil and Casey Jones. Boom.
Yeah, they do like to roll around in the muck with the reptiles.
Get fucking domed destroyed. Get fucking taken out.
You know, I'm gonna send you a link to something later, Shadu, because I think you need to see it. You're not gonna like it, and you're gonna hate me for it. But I think you
No,
need to see it.
no. Don't fucking send me meat spin again, for the love of God.
We can't bring it up here on the channel because it is technically porn.
I was joking about meat spin, you son of a bitch.
I'm not talking about meat spin. I was talking about the Ninja Turtle porn parody. You know, the one where
I
April
beg
gets
your
blow banged
finest
by all four of them.
pardon. I beg your fun. I'm not the one on this panel who knows porn. Thank you very much. I feel like you're wasting that on me.
No. It's just so that you'll see it, so that I will know that you've seen it. That's
Again,
all.
there's
This is
someone
for
more
my own
deserving of that on
edification
panel.
and amusement. It has nothing to do with anything else. I just think it'd be funny if you had to watch April getting blow banged by all four turtles.
Wait, but how are you gonna force me to view it? You won't be able to force me to view it. I'll know it exists, but I
will
know it
send it
exists
to your
when you told me.
immediate superior. That's how.
Yeah, you don't even know if it's a he or a she. You don't even know their name. You don't even know their fucking address, their
You
email.
act like
Nothing.
I can't find this information out.
Would that matter to you if it was a he or a she?
No, I'm saying that Sam. Like I was using that more so for the fact that Sam knows nothing at all about my superior officer.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Here's the thing. Military roles are public records. I can find out.
Well, you wait. Shit. No, I've sent you fucking money on Cash App. You know my name. Fuck.
I've known your name for years, kid. You sent me an email with the wrong address years ago.
I thought it was Samuel Jr.
Yeah, I just have
That's
been
not even
kind
his
enough
name,
not to
Devil.
say your
That's
name.
not even his fucking
No, but I
name. The
can't say
joke
his real
doesn't work.
name. I can't say his real name.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Yes, I do know your real name. I just don't say it in public because you asked me not to. So
Yeah. You are better about that than some people I know.
well, I have to be. I mean, I'm anonymous too.
Yeah. Well, in this person's case, they're not usually on the fucking internet as much as I am. So, or like boy, usually they're in private voice calls where when it slips up, it's a funny joke, not fucking live streaming that shit. So,
Yeah.
Shadu's real name is Karen.
There are days.
not even fucking close.
What's the male version of the Karen trope? What was
Ken.
that one?
No,
it's not Ken. Ken.
It was Karen and
associated
Ken.
with
It
I'm
was
Ken
Karen
Up.
and Ken. It was
I
Karen
just
and
know-
Ken.
I just know the Karen came from Dane Cook. It was a skit of his that started the Karen.
Yeah.
And then the internet colloquial term for like a male Karen or like a guy, the husband of a Karen is Ken.
I thought it was Steve.
Karen and Ken. Nope, it's Karen and Ken. I know
Why
that
did
because
Judy Buck saying Kevin.
a few years ago when you had that like image of the guy and his wife trying to like defend their neighborhood, and it was like a fat suburban dude and a Karen as his wife, everyone was calling that pair Ken and Karen. Everyone was calling that pair Ken and Karen. This is good.
Yeah, I don't know, because I think the Ken thing went out with the Barbie movie and the popularity of the Ken in that movie, so they didn't so much use that anymore. If that was in fact what it was originally, I don't know.
No,
that's why I was asking,
not
because I
seen
don't know,
replacement.
because I've never actually used that.
And I'm telling you the answer. It's Ken. There hasn't been a change. You can use the same word for two different things.
I'm aware of this. I'm just saying that I don't hear people saying that. They usually just say Karen, even when they're applying it to a dude.
Yeah, because you're around a bunch more mature individuals as opposed to me, who's surrounded by children.
Dude, we call bitches who whine Karens. We're not that mature. So it's I don't know where you're getting this maturity thing from. Older is not the same as mature.
Which explains why Anna's the most mature person here, but I'm pretty sure being the second youngest. Am I right?
The second youngest.
Because I'm the youngest. Aren't you younger than Devil?
Yeah, I think you're a year or two younger than me, right?
Yeah, and Devil's younger than I am, and I'm younger than Sasquatch.
So
like a lot.
Despite being the second youngest, you're the most mature person here, which kind of reinforces Sam's point about age not being.
To do.
But I did not get any of that. It was roboting. I'm terrified for my life, though.
He said, "How is your skincare routine?"
Really fucking shit, given that I'm peeling all over because I don't apply enough sunscreen. But my face is looking better than normal, so acne wash is working.
Well, you know, if that's what we're calling it, we're calling it acne wash. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I would be honest about it myself if I were in your position. It's like the guys like to play shoot the biscuit, and Shadu is the biscuit.
Yeah, he gets the vitamin D on his skin.
It's how they build morale. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry, kid. That was.
It was an incredibly bad. It was an incredibly bad joke, especially since I'm no longer the fucking platoon failure, which is tight.
You are being very cocky.
Yeah.
Like,
It's because he's not getting enough cocky.
Like I said earlier in the stream, I have two voices in my head. For the longest time, the I'm God has been overpowered by the I'm trash, and recent events have made the former voice louder than the latter voice. There's a reason why I self-identify as a narcissist.
I think Tootybug here just made an argument for why sunscreen is gay.
No, I can confirm sunscreen works because when I don't use it, I turn into
Didn't say it doesn't work. I said it was gay.
Oh. No, it's not gay. How do I know? Because I went to the fucking ER over not applying it.
Somehow you think the doctors wouldn't tell you something that would make you gay? In this country?
No.
Are you kidding me?
As in, my back was covered in fucking blisters and I had to get an IV fluid as well as them punctured and drained because the UV levels were so bad it fucked me up. I was lifeguard training. I was out in the sun for like 6 hours straight. I forgot to apply sunscreen on a really high UV day. It cooked my fucking back.
I mean, that doesn't make it not gay.
Was it lifeguard training, or were you just trying to force yourself upon people in the pool?
No, I was the one getting forced upon because apparently I play a unconscious person better than most people do. So if anything, I was the one being forced upon, which was not fun, especially when they would drown me accidentally.
Accidentally?
Yeah.
No, some of it was absolutely intentional, but I'm talking about the people who hadn't had enough time to learn anything about me to want to kill me. But there were plenty of people, like, when I felt the fucking squeeze on my jugular when we were, like, 12 feet under. Yeah, no, like, that was absolutely them trying to get rid of me as much as they deny that.
Sigbeats MM. So to be fair, this was, I assume, a few years ago, back when you were doing lifeguarding and all that stuff. He has been military soldier boy here for about, what, 5 months?
Officially, no, like 2. Training, like, since we're doxing myself, started training 5 years ago.
No. We're not doxing you. We're just trying to establish a timeline. Don't give out identifying information.
Yeah, no, I'm exaggerating. Started training 5 months, about 5 months ago. Finished the first phase and officially received rank towards the end of March. So about 2 months, a little bit of change.
Yeah.
And also, like I said previously, it was a high UV day. It was a really, really bad day to not wear sunscreen. Specifically, that
hole in the ozone layer day.
I don't know what it was, but afterwards, I was told by the doctor, "Yeah, you not only were you retarded, you picked the worst day to be retarded because it was a high UV day."
Yeah. Yeah, you got violated by the sun itself.
I got violated.
Kind of gay.
I got violated by several individuals who didn't know how to do basic lifeguard training, and I got fucking violated by the sun that day. And then by the doctor.
He keeps saying this stuff like I'm not gonna clip it at some point.
I'm fully fucking aware you're gonna clip it at some point. I've just kind of accepted that. I just kind of accepted that. Oh, by the way, remember a while back I said y'all were worse than the guys around me? Yeah, no, like you guys are no longer as bad as my fucking unit at all, at any meaningful capacity. And I am so glad that I'm not the target of the worst of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do feel proud that we had some small hand in toughening your skin up prior to
Yeah,
this, though.
pretty well.
I'll give you guys a solid 6% with about a good 80% being the fucking DIs, and then the remaining whatever percent being the chuckle fucks in my unit.
Right. But you have to admit that the ribbing we've been giving you for about 4 fucking years straight did in some way, in some small way, give you some preparation for what was to come. Preparation H, in fact.
I'd say a solid 20% with 80% being my brother and my dad.
Yeah. Just saying. We had a hand in it.
One's abusive, the other's my dad.
Yeah. Just Vital Patriot says, I'm at least the age of Sasquatch and I've never done a skincare routine in my life. Shockingly, I still have skin that works. I mean, yeah, same here. The only thing I've ever done is fucking wash it with soap.
Real men don't put shit on their skin.
You know, I have had pretty severe burns though too. From when I was like 12, I think I spent something like 16 hours in the sun at Waterworld, and I applied sunscreen I think once, and then I got in the water, and as you all know, it washes that shit off, so it doesn't fucking work. And next thing I know, I've got like 3rd-degree burns over 80% of my body, and I had to sleep standing up for 3 weeks. I was like 11 or 12 years old at the time. Anyway, ever since then, I don't tan, I just burn.
Yeah.
So I stay the fuck out of the sun. And also swimming pools and all that fun stuff. I'm a very
yeah. See, that used to be the reason, and then he was hanging out with a very hungry Amira, and she's his sire now.
No, I just work for her.
Yeah.
It's not the same. My relationship with Amira is not the same as Larry's relationship with Amira.
Both
I'm not dark enough to be a house slave.
both of you stay out of this. Both of you stay out of the sun. Both of you enjoy fucking staying up really late. Neither of you have reflections, to my knowledge.
You do realize that I'm like 15 years older than she is, right? I've had these habits longer.
Sam is not a slave. He is the slave runner. He's the one saying to Larry,
No.
name is Toby.
No. He's the one allowed in the house.
Yeah, because I'm the one with the prod and the whip,
Yeah.
right? She's the plantation owner. I'm the one with the prod and the whip.
What's your name, Larry? It's Toby.
Yeah, you realize that slaves can use whips, right? It just means there's a guy behind them with a whip, and that guy in this case is a fucking Lebanese.
However, in this case, I'm white. I got the whip. It's probably not me being the slave. I'm being paid.
Well, again, using the whole Lebanese thing, that you being white didn't really stop them.
So her being Lebanese isn't relevant in this.
Oh, it absolutely is.
No,
Southern
it
Mediterraneans loved white slaves.
She's also, if you'll allow me to finish the fucking sentence, asshat.
No,
she's also a naturalized American citizen and has adapted extremely well.
And yes, she still has slaves. In the case of Larry, that's ruining your argument.
That's the whole thing. Anyway, for those of you over on Sasquatch's channel, I apologize for this. This is all lore from yet another totally separate channel. It's got nothing to do with any of this stuff. We're just arguing now because Sasquatch is being a dick and he's pushing back on everything. So,
I'm just bored.
Well, you don't have to be here. Just saying. Like, if we're so boring.
Yeah. I mean, you're boring. Devil, Squatch, and Anna just aren't talking right now. You're the one that's boring. If they were talking, I wouldn't be bored.
All right. Nice having you.
Another cramp.
Party in the naughty corner. Oh, no. Put me back. It's the place to be. Party in the naughty corner.
Very fucking rude. So I'm still waiting on that. So essentially what we're doing right now, what we're waiting on, folks, for those of you who don't know, is Sasquatch is sort of like my de facto producer, except I haven't given him any behind the scenes power. So we have to do this whole convoluted thing because I'm kind of a stupid, lazy dick that way. and he had to run out and get that cake. So we're waiting for him to get back because there's apparently a cake that's necessary.
Why can't you do it?
Because my internet is so bad that all you'll get is every other frame. So,
I don't accept that.
If you send to me, I can try to play it. Sometimes shit plays right.
Your internet is almost as bad as mine.
I know, but sometimes it plays.
I would have gladly had done that, but for the exact same reason that I don't play it.
I would have done if it was me, but I'm on my mobile phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're just kind of killing time till he gets back before I bring up this next thing. I even remember what the next thing fucking is.
Please don't tell me it's the AI and robots and that chick with the
that we can have sex with. That's chances are what it's going to be.
No, but I do believe that we have something on a Chinese exoskeleton.
Oh wow!
I don't remember if I let that
together.
Something that lets people run up to like 50 fucking miles an hour.
See, that's not the that's honestly not the real value of an exoskeleton. Oh, sorry, Anna.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
See, honestly, the real value of an exoskeleton is less the ability to go faster or be stronger, but the fact that because that thing would be taking a lot of the that thing would be doing a lot of the work of holding you up and doing the locomotion. That means you get tired less, which means you'd be able to travel for longer.
Sometimes people just want to go fast.
I hear that point, and I agree that that's valuable. But the bigger value of an exosuit is being able to conduct physically demanding activities for a longer period without being fatigued.
I think you have this whole thing where you think that everybody out there is thinking about what the bigger value is. I don't think that we are. I think in some cases, particularly in science, with research and development, right? I think it's more about, can we do this thing? If we can, why let's do this thing. It's less about the applications down the road and how they'll be applied and where they'll be best applied, as it is like, holy shit, I made this thing that lets me run up to 50 miles an hour.
And this is why I'm better.
I don't like the implications of it. Like, literally, one, it could, if it went wrong, it probably could start breaking your bones easily. And two,
imagine if you misstepped.
What if you freaking die on the battlefield and they build into it that they can take control of you like a drone, like your corpse still animated with these things or some shit? I don't know. There's just like some creepy kind of sci-fi things going through my head that I don't like the idea of being in a.
I mean, to that latter point, if they're able to do that, why would you bother putting the monkey inside of it when you could just make a totally autonomous combat frame and not have to worry about the monkey in the
because
suit?
Then they have you bring it in for them. Instead of having to drop in a bunch of drone things, they have you walk the fucking thing in there, and then you get shot in the head, and they're all like, oh, we'll just take control over him. And
right, but then to take control of it afterwards, that would require some level of infrastructure for the control of it after you're dead. Unless you're saying unless your argument is utilizing the human nervous system as the command and control apparatus, at which point, why even have a live monkey in the first place? Just use a fresh corpse.
Dude, like I said, I'm going off of the sci-fi idea of it. Like these,
that is the sci-fi idea.
The practical fucking thing, the kind of creepy thing where the worst case scenario of what could come of it. Saying they would. I'm just saying I don't like the idea of putting my body in a fucking goddamn machine and fucking expecting them to be, generous with me.
Well, see, the more horrifying thing would be sorry.
Yes.
Yes, Sasquatch has returned. I forget. I think I might have accidentally not sent this one to you because I meant to. Did you have the video of the Chinese exosuit?
I do not see that.
Okay. I will. I'm going to post it in the private chat as soon as I can. I got to bring it up here. So
I don't guess it got dropped, or maybe it didn't make it through into StreamYard.
That's the other deal. Here it is. Apologize if I sound like I'm breaking up. Twitter hates me.
Shadu, what did you eat today?
I did not hear any of that. I heard my name and
What did you eat today?
for
Babies.
breakfast I had an energy drink and a fucking protein bar before running into the woods. And then I had rice and salmon, and I've just had some Peruvian chicken. Why?
No reason. Just asking.
I'm confused and concerned.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to get it, kid.
What the fuck was that?
What the hell was that?
We're just gonna mute that. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Why the fuck was I hearing a bop? Why was I hearing a Chinese bop?
Yeah. Anywho, here's the video. Thank you, Sasquatch, for bringing that up. No music, no sound. We're just gonna
no sound.
Talk over this. Yeah, look at this thing.
Oh, this retarded video.
Now you can achieve the same result with like prosthetics, prosthetic springs, right? If you get your legs hacked off below the knees.
That's not an exosuit. That's just AI. That's retarded.
No, that's a suit somebody built. Those flex things, they actually, like you said, they have those as replacements for people who've lost their legs who want to run. Yeah. So he's just put those on the bottom of his feet. But yeah, they do have those.
I mean, this video, that video looks super fucking fake. Like, that video looks AI.
Here's the problem, kid, is that everything, it looks fake whether it is or not these days. Everything does.
That's not true. You don't look fake.
Well, you're not looking at me either. You're looking at my avatar, which, yes, was in large part AI generated.
Fine. Then Devil doesn't look fake. He looks like Tim Pool, but he doesn't look fake.
Literally the father of lies over here, brother.
Up. Holy shit.
Yeah, so I could be 6 foot and get the honeys, cut my legs off. I mean,
what did I do to you to bring that up, man?
There are dudes who think that they can make themselves taller. What they do is they like break the bones in their legs and then they stretch them out and they put some kind of fucking stint in there to make them stay that way, and then they have severe problems for the rest of their fucking lives.
Yeah, it's not that they can't. They do. It's just, you're right. It's fucking stupid. Yeah, break the bones. They separate them just a little bit so they grow back in between, and after a bunch of times, it gives them a couple inches. It's so stupid.
Yeah, no, looks maxing is fucking retarded. If you're trying to do that shit, just cut your balls off at that point. Like, you're not going to get any use out of them anyway. Whether you sterilize yourself or you just make yourself a fucking cripple, either way, it doesn't matter. Just skip to the end of the process where you become a defunct human being.
I would say at the point where you're hitting yourself in the face with a hammer to give yourself that chiseled jaw look, you've already crossed that line.
Breaking your fucking legs to get taller is probably crossing the line well before that.
No, that's
shit.
way past the line. Way past the line.
Wasn't that happening before the hammer face smash thing?
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. The hammer thing is still a little bit more sane than the leg thing. Only a little bit, because they're both fucking crazy.
Okay. Now, where do you put fucking injecting yourself with steroids so you're no longer able to, so you're sterile, but then also think that your girlfriend of 2 weeks is pregnant with your kid? Where do you line that up in?
No, that's just delusion.
Liberalism.
Straight up delusion.
It's not liberalism, it's clavicular, Squatch.
That's like, clavicular is an idiot. We don't need to bring him up like ever. So
I would at least say with steroids, you're actually getting the muscle mass. What about those idiots that inject saline into their arm to make it look like they have muscles when they don't?
Oh, yeah.
That's really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Well, in the case of the specific situation I was talking about, he doesn't look like he has muscle. He looks like a fucking catamite.
Please tell me I'm not the only one who knows what a catamite is.
I have no clue. I wouldn't be on
so, fun fact: the they certain sects of the and certain individuals, I will say, I don't want to call out everybody, blah 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 blah, you know, but certain sects and groups in the Catholic Church used to keep little boys around for use, and they were referred to as catamites.
It's up over here. You can like pop it up so they know you're not jerking your chain. As a boy or youth who is kept by an older man for purposes typically functioning as a passive partner in a relationship.
Yes. And most of these look smaxers, in their attempt to look badass and masculine, make themselves look like catamites.
You know, be really
Or
cool.
triples, one of the two.
These are terms I didn't need to know.
Yeah,
Put it in my life hearing about that.
I mean, one of them applies to you. Cripple or catamite. Take it or leave it.
What about a crippled catamite?
He might be both. He might be both. That's right.
Right.
Devil. I mean, you one, the other, or both.
Let's be honest, Shadu. If somebody's a catamite, it's you, man. You're a young dude. I know there's some old dude behind you right now, fucking rubbing your shoulders. Let's be honest.
Checking your prostate with both hands.
It's not an old dude. If you're wheelchair bound,
Younger
like
dude,
Timmy,
whatever.
you know, you're not getting away from him either.
He's all, Sean's not old. He's only 3 years older than me.
It's only 1 year. Fuck you.
Oh man, we're
Are
terrible.
we doing the
Sikh
Sikh thing?
Yeah, we're gonna do the Sikh thing. So you guys remember, and not too long ago, the Henry Novak murder, and everybody was compliant in that, and the kirpan, was a specific knife that they were saying was used, and the guy who wielded it is a Sikh. So the Sikhs of Britain put out this fucking statement.
Yeah.
Where they, of course, decried what happened, but then they made it about them.
Well, naturally, they're the victims with their knives.
Suddenly, yeah. This is like that old joke that Norm Macdonald used to say about what if ISIS detonated a bomb and killed 50 million Americans? Can you imagine the horrible backlash against Arab Muslims?
Well, the reason is because they understand something that the West has largely forgotten, the fact that no outside group will ever care about your group more than anyone else. So the moment an outside group that you are outnumbered by in the place you're in start looking at you like a threat, your days are numbered. So they immediately have to pivot to, well, but you shouldn't look at us like we're the bad people, because the moment they start getting viewed as bad people, well, it starts going bad for them. Look at any example in human history of a smaller group getting abused by a larger group.
Well, in this particular case, they are making an impassioned plea to please don't make it illegal for us to carry our knives, because we must continue the armed fight against Muslim aggression in this country, despite the fact that you have made it illegal for everyone else, especially the natives, to carry knives.
Yep.
Look, I get where they're coming from, because, like, yeah, it's illegal to carry knives, but yet every single Muslim in England carries a knife. So they deserve special treatment. No, but
well, this is
I understand
that's not their argument.
Sikhs are not Muslims, first of all.
No, that's what I'm saying though. They do have a problem with Muslims. There is conflict between the two groups, and so I could get why they would want to carry a knife, because, like I just said, the Muslims are carrying knives.
Devil, hold on. The Sikh have a religious doctrine that includes them carrying a specific blade with them at the moment of their death, and so they carry it with them always.
No, but to sit there and act like it's not, they don't feel comforted knowing that they have a knife when, like I said, the Muslims do too.
No, it's their religion. It's a part of their religion.
It's yes, I know. God damn, you're not fucking understanding me. I know it's part of their religion. I'm saying though, just because it's part of their religion doesn't mean fucking having that blade on them doesn't give them a comfort knowing that the person who they might have to fight has one too.
Yeah, but that's
it's not mutually exclusive here, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
So the bit that I keep coming back to is because I keep seeing people, particularly British people, saying ban the kirpan, ban the kirpan, ban the kirpan. And while I understand the sentiment, I think that's the exact wrong response. I think the only appropriate response is to legalize arms for everyone
No, I disagree.
across the board, 100%.
Kick
And I'll
it.
tell you why.
We weren't asking a European. Y'all already had a chance.
Because an
Thank
armed
you.
society is a polite society, period. The more people are armed, the less that bad actors who are armed are likely to try and do something because they know there will be immediate reciprocal consequences.
That's on the law enforcement in the government.
What law
Obviously,
enforcement?
they're not
The one
doing their job.
That's handcuffing
No,
the
no.
kid bleeding death. That
Law enforcement shows
Law-
up 20 to 30 minutes after an event takes place. They are useless to prevent crime.
No, you're thinking of the situation in the moment. I'm thinking of like years beyond what happened. Like, look at what happened in Moscow back in the 90s with the amount of killings we had.
I think your government got you on that one, chick.
Person came in and said, "I'm done with this shit. I'm putting a stop to all this crime. I'm putting a stop to all of this, all of that. That's it. Now you go out in Moscow, 2:00 in the morning, peaceful. Nobody's coming at you with a knife. You're not in Toledo, Ohio, New York, whatever. I can be sitting in Moscow Central Park and be very, very, very peaceful. Would I go out in Central Park in New York? No.
But that requires
I want to have a weapon.
That unfortunately requires
no.
No. That requires a variable that is not present.
Hold
in
up,
the West.
guys. One of you at a time. Anna, please
Sorry.
finish what you're saying.
I should not have to constantly feel like I need to defend myself.
I think that that's the natural state of mankind. And I think that by denying arms, we are denying what we are.
That also has to.
In your city, in your town, go out and always be like, "Oh, somebody's gonna mug me, somebody's gonna stab me, somebody's gonna."
No, they're not, because I'm gonna fucking shoot them.
I don't live in New York, Anna.
That's on the way the government is. That is not.
No, it has to do with bringing people in who have no care and also cultures that accept that kind of stuff more in certain cities. Moscow, like you said, is very primarily Russians. They don't have as much migration as some of these other cities like New York that allow criminal elements from other countries.
Devil, I disagree, actually.
Cosmopolitan.
Shut the fuck up, Shadu.
No, I agree with your general sentiment, but I disagree. It's not the inclusion of people from places where it's okay. It's the fact that these people do things and then you do not punish them. Because, like, for example, it's not multiculturalism. It's the fact that you're unwilling to, when a nail sticks up, hit it with a hammer. Like, look at Detroit. The vast majority of crime in Detroit is not committed by foreigners. It's committed by people whose families have lived in Detroit for generations, because when they do a criminal act, you don't slam the hammer down on the nail that stuck its head up.
Exactly.
Exactly. Anna's point about, hey, having a system that works, that requires a state apparatus that A, you can trust to swing the hammer, and B, that is willing to swing the hammer. In the West, predominantly places descended from like the Anglo-Saxon traditions, there's either the lack of trust of the apparatus to swing the hammer, or there's the inability of the apparatus above to swing the hammer due to a desire for more in an individualistic system.
I agree with that. Here's the thing, Anna, is like Sasquatch said, you can't count on the cops to be there when you need them. They have to get the call. They have to get off their fat asses, put the donut down, and get their fucking asses over there to save you. I can save myself. See, in England, you're just a victim. If some dude decides to take advantage of you or kill you, you ain't got nothing to do but be cut up, killed, and God knows what else. I pull my gun out and blow the fucker away. See, that fucking dude pulls his little knife, starts to whip out his little blade, and I would drop him like that. And then guess who wins? I win. So he can kiss my ass. I'd rather have my gun.
Be put on trial, and I'm going to be put on trial for defending myself.
In England, you would. I wouldn't. See, because I was defending my life.
That's
So-
how it works. If I right now at this hour was going out and somebody tried
That's why
to
England sucks.
and I like put out like I don't know my keys and did something to somebody because I can't have any pepper spray, that's illegal. I don't have any guns, I can't have a knife, I can't have any protection whatsoever. So what am I supposed to do? Okay, I have my keys,
Not
right?
live in England.
I like do some. Then I am going to be put on trial for whether I had like legitimate force
What's your point?
to defend myself.
Because
What's your
England
point?
sucks.
So I'm going to say this. Where I live is not New York. Where I live, everybody is armed, usually in multiple ways. We do have the occasional crime here. We do have the occasional burst of violence here. I think that's going to happen no matter where you are or what the circumstances are. It is significantly lower, not just because our population is lower, though. It is significantly lower because everybody is armed, because we are allowed to defend ourselves to the death if necessary. And I think that if Henry Novak had been allowed to carry, then I think he was going to jail either way, given the whole, like, if you're racist, if somebody calls you a racist, you're going to prison in fucking London. But he may have been the one not bleeding out. I think it could have saved his life.
I think
And
you have
that's
a
the point.
Yeah, I think you have a God-given right to defend your life, defend your person. And the
Because-
fact that there are countries that take that away from you is disgusting, which is why I'd never live in a shithole like England.
That's why I'm for arming everybody, because yeah, you're going to have some shitheads. Yes, you're going to have people who want to be repeat offenders, but if everybody is armed, if everybody is taking care of themselves, then sooner or later you're going to end up weeding out all of the repeat fucking offenders permanently.
I just want to point out that just because a guy lives in a shed, has a manifesto, doesn't necessarily make it a bad idea. But the concept of mandatory carry, where your firearm ID is your personal ID, has always appealed to me. I bet cops would stop asking for ID if you had to pull your pistol out and show it to them.
Yeah. I mean, here, I don't even have to conceal this shit. I can wear it out loud.
Dude, I can wear it like a hat. I've got a belt buckle pistol. I really don't. My dad has a belt buckle pistol.
I could walk around. You ever see From Dusk Till Dawn? I could walk around with that fucking cock revolver that Sex Machine's got if I wanted to.
Right?
You know? I don't honestly see how a machine like that would work the way it was designed, but whatever.
He could walk around with it out, but he conceals his. But
I mean, you got to leave the ladies a little surprised, you know? Point is this is why I think everybody should be armed. Just because, yeah, at first, after making this like a universal thing, yes, you're going to have some mess. Yes, you're going to have some trouble, particularly in highly dense urban areas. It's absolutely going to be a bloody transition period, and it's going to suck. But it
also,
will come to an end.
You need education. This is something that's been missing in America for the past 50 years.
I'd agree there. I think that people should be educated. Yeah.
Public school for years and years and years, from grade school up, there was a safety class. It was right next to social studies, civics, and home economics, right? And the safety class had to do not with any particular thing, but like handling firearms, handling axes, handling bush hooks, handling heavy equipment, handling hot ovens, all that kind of stuff.
Wait, Squatch, are you saying that you think that a functional society should have more accountable people with more responsibilities?
I think you have the responsibilities regardless of the society you're in. It's just whether or not you're willing to actually stand up with it yourself, because it is not anyone else's responsibility to let you know that you have rights and that those rights are immutable and granted by the hand of God or the Almighty or whatever you want to call it. It's not given to you by a government.
Let me rephrase my facetious question then. So you're arguing that the cultural consensus should be that everyone is responsible and accountable for their own existence.
What I'm saying is people without firearms tend to be a little more rambunctious than people with firearms. And if you
No,
are carrying firearms, then you will be held accountable for anything you do with them. You will be more responsible.
I disagree on the grounds that I know Sam doesn't keep firearms readily available, and yet he's one of the more responsible people I know. I would agree with your general assessment, though, that people who know the threat of violence is omnipresent are more civilized than others. The whole a man who's afraid to be punched in the face bites his tongue or something to that effect.
So let me I guess make it a little bit more clear when I talk about the find out part of the fuck around and find out equation in this context. When I say everybody armed, I mean everybody. I mean everybody has access to. You don't have to carry if you don't want to, but everybody's armed, and as far as you know, everybody is. So you're going to be a whole lot less likely to fuck around when the find out part becomes much more immediate and permanent. Right?
And those who do fuck around will be bred out of the population in a single generation.
I'm talking about if you start some shit with somebody, there's every chance in the world you're going to end up never leaving that spot again, right?
Yeah.
And if you understand that, you are definitely going to be a lot more responsible in your social interactions. Period.
You have a very American point of view. I have a very different point of view. I'm sorry.
That's because your country, well, a lot of those European countries have made you guys believe that you don't have a right to protect yourself.
Australia, the UK, yeah. Russia.
Like I said, you guys are just victims. That's all you are. You set up to be victims.
Yes,
that's all it
is.
is.
No. I would.
You build a country where people, like Squatch said, are educated. They don't need that.
They're educated, so you won't be stabbed by the fucking foreign invaders. No, that's totally
you don't
makes
need
sense.
to go and burglarize, because if a country is happy and people are earning enough money and they don't.
I take it you've never been long involved in gang culture at all, like.
Oh, don't start me on that. Yes, I have.
Oh, you have. You've been deeply involved in the drill rap sector.
Yeah, I actually have. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I know all about it.
I'm big X to doubt there, honey. I think you're on the honey side of it.
Oh, we are going to solve a problem. What? Oh, I need a gun. Oh, I need a gun. Oh, yeah, let's solve a problem.
No. We're not saying we need guns. We're saying you need a gun. You're misunderstanding the whole premise here.
No, the premise is the government
need to be able to defend yourself.
Hold on. The argument Squatch and Devil have is that it is on the individual's. It is the individual's role to look after themselves and to preserve the public well-being, and that if every single individual in the society takes up their responsibility and preserves the public well-being, the society will be functional. Hold on. Anna's argument is that there is a higher authority, a systemic authority that has been given power to preserve the social well-being, and that you trust it to do so. Devil, Squatch, am I steel-manning your argument correctly?
Yeah, you're pretty right. Yeah.
I'm saying that structure or power that you refer to as government is just as corrupt as the unions and any other, the church, any other organization of people who get together.
And Anna's point is that if you just trust people to act, then if you don't have some kind of binding system to keep people in line, then everyone will just do whatever the fuck they want. You're both talking about, you're both assuming that there's the extreme end being argued. Devil, Squatch, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Just say yes or no. Are you saying that Anna's argument is that you need to have the nanny state?
No, no.
Okay.
I think. Look, the fact is comes back to the same argument I gave earlier. You own nothing if you can't protect it or defend it. You don't own your life if you can't protect your life. Mm-hmm. It's great that everyone's educated. Everyone's educated. How does that prevent somebody who wants what you have coming and taking it from you. Anna,
You
if somebody sees you on the
What?
street, some person sees you and says, I want her, they can take you and you can't do shit about it. There's nothing
That's
you could do to stop
life.
that guy from hurting you. And your idea is that you're just really hoping, really hoping that at that very particular moment that there's a Bobby standing there on the corner just saying,
No,
God,
that's not
I'm
what
glad I'm here in case something happens.
no, what I'm
While
hoping
here in
is that
America,
Hold
I
on.
could
law
kill
that
that son of a
protect
bitch.
myself that I can actually have.
You have set yourself up to be a victim. Your country has convinced you, or it's not your country, you're not originally from England, but your chosen country has convinced you that you should be okay with being a victim. I don't have to be a victim. If somebody comes at me and tries to do anything to me and hurt my person, I could deal with it like that. And I don't need to ask permission. I don't need to go
I
to daddy
mean,
government and fucking
if they
say, please protect me.
if they come from your
You do.
front, if they come from your front, if they come from behind you with a brick and they knock you over the head, you're kind of fucked there.
Well, that's fine, but the point is I can protect myself. She can't, because like she said herself, in England, you would be the one in trouble. They don't only take away your right to defend yourself, they
Yeah.
make you into the villain for defending yourself.
Yeah.
It was insidious what England's done to their population and has convinced you that you should live in that kind of terror. I believe you should be able to carry something that could defend yourself. So some guy tries to drag you into an alley, you should be able to stab the fucker in the throat and watch him bleed out while you laugh.
Oh wow.
Because
Okay,
fuck
hold
him.
on. Anna, tell me if I'm wrong when I steel man your argument. Your argument is that the hypothetical man coming out of the alley that Devil's speaking to or speaking of should not even be in the society in the first place, that all individuals like that should be like purged and serve as a deterrent for future actors who would attempt that activity, so that the
Exactly.
individual doesn't need to be okay. That's a
Right.
fair assessment of your argument.
That's my point. That you purge people like that from society. That they don't. Of course, they will exist. They are out there, always will be. But
Hold on.
when I go out 2 a.m. in Moscow, in the center of the city, bigger than New York, 5 times bigger than New York.
We
Chicago,
heard you.
and I go out there and I feel safe. I feel not because cops are like walking around. No, I feel safe because the city has been purged of any of these weirdos. Everybody's gone. Here,
All right.
I go
So here's
out
the problem
and
with that.
and I'm like, I don't even know
Please.
who I'm going to encounter today.
Here's
So,
the problem with that.
and I don't even have any. And even if I defend,
Okay.
how do I defend myself? I can't do this. I can't do that. What do I do? Nothing. That's my point.
The issue here is that in order for that purge to have taken place, those people had to have committed crimes to be identified as the bad people. Those crimes that we're discussing are not the ones that happen after they've been arrested, but the ones that happen before they are arrested. These are not accounted in your purge doctrine over here.
Not to mention you're
Oops,
counting on the same
just
people.
victims.
Yeah, you're counting on the same people who you're saying are going to protect you to purge these people. Well, in England, they're not purging them. They're inviting them in and they're fucking giving them more rights than
Yep.
you.
Yep.
So you're saying protect me, but at the same time, you guys are the ones allowing the situation that I find myself in. It's
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
and Devil, in like defense of like Anna's side of the argument, where you're going, well, your system's flawed and damaged because you're having to rely on the government because you don't have the means to defend yourself. Your argument of, oh, well, I'll defend myself. If there's not a national apparatus to keep the invading hordes coming in, I don't care if you're strapped. If you've only got 13 rounds and there's 14 guys coming at you, you're fucked. Or if the guy coming at you has a automatic weapon and all you've got is your semi-automatic, you're fucked. You need
Brother.
something that can mobilize greater force against those who wish to take from you, because you as just a random citizen are unable to effectively mobilize enough force to fight off a large group of people. But there's no such larger group of people coming, I would hear argued. Yes, because there's a systemic apparatus that has kept such groups away. Go back 100 years, and where you're living had to face, if I remember correctly, geographically, had to be worried about Lakota Sioux, about Oglalas, about Hung Papas, because there was nothing keeping those barbarians from coming to your area of the woods and killing you. So you had to have a greater level of individualism.
Stop right there. Just because I'm a nitpicky bastard and because I haven't said anything in a minute, and honestly, I haven't said anything because this has been riveting. But you need to understand that Oglala are Lakota.
Yes, I know. I'm aware. I just
I am Oglala Lakota.
Yeah, I was.
They're not different tribes like you just made it sound like.
I was pulling it. My point being the fact that the reason why Devil doesn't have to worry about a bunch of people coming in and scalping him at odds of 5-1 is the fact that there's a systemic apparatus meant to stop.
I disagree. That you're assuming. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I could stop them too.
And here's the thing: is you're right. If I got waylaid by 60 men, it doesn't matter what gun I have, I'd be killed. Yes, that's 100%. But that doesn't excuse me being able to have the ability to defend myself. Yes, there's always, some guy in fucking ballistic armor that fucking I can't shoot could come at me, but it doesn't change the fact that I should be able to fucking have a gun to defend myself. And because of some weird
there's
reason,
a layer here that hasn't been addressed. She brought up the purges, and the thing about the purges is those things are largely questionable on their efficiency, and how many guilty people get purged in the process of getting how many not guilty people get purged in the process? We have no idea.
I mean, actually, it would be
No,
it would actually be really simple. Just enforce the laws that are on the books. If you murder someone,
that's not a purge.
You go to jail.
That's not a purge. That is literally just doing law.
Hold on. That was bad. That was my bad. That was my bad. That was me.
What I'm referring to. If you break the law, you go to prison.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'll take the hit for that one.
You purge.
Gotcha.
She accepted it though. That's my point.
Hold on. I'll take the fucking heat for that.
So
that was me. I used the word purge.
Sure. She accepted it. But go ahead.
If you want to take people off the street doing nefarious stuff, and I'm not talking about drug addicts or whatever, but like people doing criminal other stuff, you take them off the street, you put them in prison. That's what's happened. Now Moscow is safe. I feel safe. When I go out in London, I don't feel safe. I could get stabbed. I could get raped. I could get this. I could get that. No. That's what I'm saying is the government needs to step up.
I think that you're in this position because the government did step up and they did exactly the opposite thing. They betrayed their people.
Yep.
I don't think this was an accident. I think they betrayed their people.
Yes, because the people did not have any sort of accountability or responsibility for themselves or their government.
Which is why we hold on, Shadow. This is why we have a Second Amendment, because we know that that's an inevitability. Government will always betray the people, whatever form it takes, sooner or later. Always. It cannot be trusted to take care of you. It cannot. Yeah, and if you live out in the sticks like I do, you know how some of the people out here live 30, 40, 50 minutes away from the nearest fucking police response. So even if they want to get there and help out in time, it's going to be way too late. Whatever's happening is over by then. Somebody is going in the ground. Half of the guys out here won't even call the cops because as far as they're concerned, you commit a crime or you try to harm them or theirs on their property, no one's ever going to hear from you again.
And here's the thing we keep overlooking and we haven't even considered. While you're right, Anna, that you're much more safer in Moscow than London, right? Because they purged all the bad things. What are you going to do when it's the government trying to do the bad things to you? See, here in America, we have guns to defend ourselves against our government if it ever becomes tyrannical, which kind of is.
No, you're not. I'm going to push back on that. You're not doing shit with
fuck up should do. I'm going to fucking... Can I kick him? Can I kick him?
Yeah,
Scotch tape,
yeah.
though.
Well, I mean, you
For
can
$10.
bounce them out.
There you
for a
go.
minute.
Get
Yeah,
rid of
there
his
we go.
ass.
Damn it,
I'm
Sam.
gonna push back. I'm
we
gonna
were
push
on
back.
the right track, bro. You was
Go
fixing to get paid.
Go
You
ahead,
fucking.
But
Go to the corner.
we
Think
can
about the
fight
decisions
back
that brought you to
against our
this point.
government. Even if we're outgunned, we can fight back. We can defend ourselves, even against them. In Moscow, you can't. Right now, they're protecting you from the rapists and the bad people and the people who might drag you into an alley and kill you. Yes, they're protecting you. That's great. But what happens when it's them fucking taking you into the goddamn alley? That's the fucking truth. Like I said, I might be outgunned, but if the government fucking comes to take away my rights, I can still fire back. I'll lose, great, but
No.
at least I'll fucking be able to fight for it.
They would do to you what they
Oh
did to
my
Maduro.
God, in the 90s, you've never heard of the coup of the White House in
No,
Moscow?
I bet.
Come on.
Hold up. First of all, I beg to differ.
People's
They would
revolt.
not Maduro me. They would have to fucking Ruby Ridge my ass.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
I was just fixing to bring
I'll
up
die on my
like
fucking
Waco.
legs.
No.
I'll die on my legs instead of living on my knees.
That is not the same thing.
No, it's not, Anna. Welcome to your knees.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
A concept that you just refuse
Have
to
you
accept.
ever-
Self-reliance, self-responsibility, and self-affirmation, all in the same package by defending oneself. Period.
I mean, ultimately, look, empires and governments rise and fall constantly. This is a fact of history. It's an eternal thing. They can't be relied upon forever. The only thing that a person has ever, been able to rely upon is their ability to defend and protect and preserve themselves and their own. Period. And that must be preserved. It must be, or there will be no, future. I don't think that England has a future if you guys don't arm the fuck up and fight back.
They have a future as a vassal state of a larger organization. Currently, that larger organization looks like the EU, but that cheese is sliding off the cracker. I don't know what's going to roll in next with some kind of Pan-American Pacific partnership or something. I don't know.
Also, I should point out though, real quick too. I am not American. I am an American. I'm not in England. I am not speaking for the English people. And all of these opinions that I'm spouting off here are mine and not Anna's. Please do not take her to jail for this. This is not her. It's all on me.
But before we kick this back, I just have two quick questions to ask Anna to see if that might clear up some of this discussion.
Mhm.
First, Anna, kind of cycling back. All you're saying is enforce the laws on the books that murderers, thieves, rapists, that they get what's coming to them per the purview of the law. That's the first question. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, second question. Are you arguing that a citizen should not have access to the means to defend themselves, whatever that looks like? Or is your argument that they should not be they should live in a society where they don't have to consider that day to day?
I think that every person should have the right to bear arms, but that my personal opinion is not what the majority thinks. I would personally want to live in a place where I would not have to feel that way, but currently in the UK, yeah, I feel like I need to have protection.
But I think we all agree with that. I think we all would love to live in this
At the end
magical.
of the day, I feel like a good society should be clean, not have any kind of, and I know this is utopia, maybe from my Soviet days, but
Anna knows what I think of utopia.
it is a dream.
Fake.
But at the end of
Not
the day,
even real.
I understand the reality of things. I never want to be going around like holstering a gun. Like, oh shit, this guy's coming at me. Shit, he's trying to do something to me. Oh, no, come on.
You
No,
you have to shout it out though. He's coming right for us before you fire. That's how you
And then
justify
you
it.
just blast them. It's coming right for us.
it's
Full
different.
mag dump.
It's a different culture. It's a different culture. It's a different way of living, and I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Which
But
that's another consideration that needs to be identified, is the fact that the European mind is used to having those pre-existing social structures to manage those things. Like, keep in mind, the United States, like the American identity is relatively young. Whether you want to take it at the 250 years of our birthday, which is coming up, it's the 250th anniversary of our armed forces. Next year, it's the 250th anniversary of our country. But or if you want to go back further to the like when the colonists ceased being British and started being American as a cultural identity, that's probably 300 years back. That is a frontier mindset where you don't have an established system. Whereas if you go to Europe, whether it's England, whether it's Germany, whether it's France, whether it's Russia, whether it's Poland, these are
to the
states.
point.
The European is used to having a state that is much, much, much older and much, much more established than the United States. So there's always been a greater level of law and order versus the American, who's used to having to make his own law and order because there wasn't a state over him.
Europeans have also
fairly recently.
changed government bodies and types many times over the centuries. It's not like they've been consistently the modern government that they have now.
say modern government.
The other thing,
being bent over and
that I would say is that while European outlooks are obviously different than American outlooks, and you guys do tend to look down on us for this, we have a very fuck around and find out kind of mindset, but we don't like to start shit if we don't have to, but we will. Oh. The problem is that this discourse between us has mostly been about American mindset versus European mindsets. What we're not taking into account is Middle Eastern mindsets, which are I see it, I want it, I take it, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's your problem, England. It's not American mindsets. It's that.
Can I transition to this next thing here because it's pertinent?
Yeah, give me just a second real quick. I gotta yell at Abe again because he's not even on the fucking panel and he's still doing the lyrics for Erica. Shut up, dude. Anyway, I honestly, this is probably one of the best fucking discussions we've had on this fucking channel in a while. So it's good to have different perspectives, I think.
I'm so annoyed that I had to play moderator instead of jumping into the mosh pit, but I felt one person getting dogpiled by 4 people wouldn't be very entertaining.
I don't think it was dogpiling. I think it was just a disagreement. We're all still
hyperbole.
Except
hyperbole. Hyperbole, Sam.
Yes. All right. Anywho, I don't think we're going to come to a consensus on this. I do think that we each think how we think, and that's just kind of the way of things. Yep. But here's by the way, for you leftists out there, this is how people stay friends. We disagree, and that's okay.
Yep.
So just putting that out there. We can do that. You could too.
Just I don't want to gulag anybody on the freaking panel.
Some shit do, but that's for entirely unrelated reasons.
Yeah, so that was something from before.
Honestly, it's the whole Mouse Utopia thing. I kind of want to see how he does in that situation. But
just literally watch my life, bro. We are in Mouse Utopia.
Yeah,
and judging by how things are.
But I want to do it in a confined space, maybe with like shifting walls, like the cube.
What I can tell you is I'm not one of the beautiful ones self-preening, and I'm not one of the fucking females. So that leaves either defending. I was gonna say that leaves 3 things. I'm food. I'm one of the violent gits that starts killing people indiscriminately, or I'm one of the mice that feudally tries to defend mate and offspring.
Yeah,
I don't have a mate and offspring, so I'm either food or I'm gonna start killing people.
It's the food thing.
It's probably the food thing.
If you're not killing people, it's definitely the food thing.
Yeah. Well, that means freaking. What does that make the rest of you? Sam's obviously the one defending house mate and no mate. So
no.
Sam,
I think you misunderstand fundamentally. I'm the guy running the experiment.
Okay, so Sam's a beautiful one. Squatch is defending mate and offspring. Anna is
Your mama.
killing everyone, and then fucking Devil's just watching in the corner.
I have taught my mate and offspring to defend themselves, sir.
Did you
I'm
just
just kind
call
of
Devil a
concerned that
cuck?
Yeah, thank you.
I did
I'm
not.
also kind of concerned that he called Sam the beautiful one. It's
Listen.
I mean,
I did not call Devil a cuck.
There is that whole thing.
anyway.
Wait, just to clarify, Devil, when I call him a beautiful one, I'm implying he's a catamite.
Yeah, I'd like to see you make that happen. I would.
I'm not the one who's going to do it. It's not going to be me. Looks over
because
at Squatch.
like I just made very, very clear, I am armed to the teeth. You're welcome to take a shot if you think you're hard enough.
I would never. Squatch, on the other hand, is a bear.
I love anarchists.
Yeah, but Squatch is a gentle lover who likes being the lower spoon, the smaller spoon.
I showed you that confidence, man. Like,
why you gotta out him like that, dog?
I mean, Devil hasn't said anything.
Yeah, Devil's a bit of a rough rider.
Yeah, no, I'm not a kiss and tell kind of guy.
Threaten me with a good
What's the
time.
next topic?
Catamite is not better than being a sodomite. It's the same thing. It's just pitching and receiving, dude.
Oh, Abe.
All right. So this is Mario Newfall. Did I say that right?
Noffles. And to be clear, Mario is a bit of a shill for certain things, and he gets things wrong all the fucking time, but he does bring stuff to my attention.
So this goes towards the whole purging concept that I was speaking of earlier. Brussels is moving to strip one of Europe's fastest growing political movements of its funding and legal recognition. The EU's party authority launched proceedings to revoke the official status of the Europe of Sovereign Nations. The alliance, founded by Germany's AfD, citing a 300-page dossier of alleged extremist rhetoric, anti-Semitism, and ties to United Russia. If it succeeds, ESN loses its recognition and more than $2 million in subsidies through the 27 MEPs keep their seats. Though its 27 MEPs will keep their seats.
Okay.
Now, basically what you just read is the EU didn't like what some people have said, and so they decided to unperson them from their political affiliation.
Well,
so these people...
Yeah, they're trying to outlaw a political party that's within. I mean, like this affiliation is obviously looking to expand beyond that because these people believe in national sovereignty, which is everything against what the EU stands for.
Yeah. And let's be honest, the left would do this to the Republican Party, which, like I said, I'm not part of, but they would do it to the Republicans in a heartbeat.
I mean, any sane political
we're doing it for 20 years.
I mean, Devil's Advocate. Any reasonably competent political apparatus would use any tool at their disposal to remove any potential avenue of denying them their power.
I don't know, man. I do find it interesting and funny that the EU, which was basically began by Germans, is now trying to outlaw things that are also coming from Germany.
I'm not surprised though. This doesn't even raise the barometer as far as I'm concerned.
Actually,
this is right on brand.
Technically speaking, the EU was forced on the Germans because they were told, hey, if you want to continue engaging in economic deals with the rest of Europe, you got to sign this treaty with France so that you'll never invade France again.
That wasn't EU. That's not EU. The EU started.
No, so the EU started. Yeah, no, so it was the foundations for the EU was an economic union between France and Germany forced on Germany by the Allies, and that evolved into the EU.
So the EU is, in fact, the Fourth Reich because the Blitzkrieg didn't work. They went with economics this time.
Yes. all because France forced Germany to make a deal with them. I notice
I don't
everything
think
kind of ties back to
forced
France.
Germany to do a goddamn thing. I think Germany saw that this was the best opportunity for them to regain what they'd lost and build upon that as they had initially planned, without actually having to deal with the entire world descending on their doorstep.
No, this is too insidious for the Germans. They're usually a lot more loud and brash. I feel like
That's
there's another.
only when they're fucking trees, man.
It's also when they're riding at poles.
Again, you're talking about a group of people who are descended from a varied group of people who have managed somehow to survive by adapting, right? The Blitzkrieg did not work. They understand this, so they have adapted to a new path forward, which is the EU. This is not because of France. France was a part of it, but this is not because of France.
I mean, we all agree that France sucks.
Yes,
but we got to move past that to understand.
Yeah. No, I disagree that it might be the German political apparatus, but I wouldn't say it is the Germans, because this isn't really benefiting the Germans, the cultural identity. It's more the systems they put into place are being utilized to cancerously take over Europe.
For the Germans.
Yes. Yes.
Not for the Germans.
Yes.
Absolutely not
you
for the
said
Germans.
it very... Fuck.
The Germans aren't benefiting from shit. They're getting
so
invaded.
Close. We were so close.
Because their own policies backfired on them. Later on, as the EU expanded, as they allowed certain countries that never should have had entry in the first place in, like fucking Greece, while it was on fire and under mountains of debt.
If that was the case, then the German people would do a course correct and remove the problem, but they cannot.
They tried, but their own statutes, their own policies, and their own fucking bullshit that they put into fucking place when they put the EU into place, they weren't going to let Greece in. They got bullied into it by other fucking countries. Now, when they agreed to do this, it bound their fucking hands by their own bylaws.
So then they would remove, if they had any actual power, they would just remove the bylaws. They don't have
point,
power.
Dude.
The systemic
You're
apparatus
misunderstanding.
Has the
Are you intentionally misunderstanding what we're trying to say, or are you just?
No, I'm not.
Contrary?
I'm saying that.
Let me try again. No. Okay.
No. What I'm saying is, there is a system, a bureaucratic system that was created to do a thing. That thing was to help assist the German people in mobilizing resources for whatever purpose they saw fit as needed. That system has evolved into something outside of their control and is engaging in activities to preserve and expand itself at the cost of the German people. Systems are they're not, when I say a living organism, I don't mean that they have blood and that they're a fucking conscious thing, but there is an element of life to it. It operates for the continued preservation of itself. It's made up of systems that leads to its continued operation. And to benefit the German people would cost that system. And so the German people are being sacrificed for the purposes of maintaining and growing that system. And it is replacing the people it would lose with an alternative source like a blood transfusion.
So here's the thing. I do partially agree with you. I do see what you're saying here. Now, when you're talking about the actual German people, as in the fucking peasantry, yes, no, this doesn't benefit them. Neither did Nazi Germany. This isn't about the people on the ground. This is about the people in power. And the people in power are seeking, through the EU, to dissolve national borders and national fucking identities. So when you get a group like AfD, which is very concerned with national borders and national identity, that cannot be allowed to exist.
So I raise you, does the leadership of a system of people have to be of those people?
It never is, man. What part of you
Exactly.
can't trust the fucking government did you not understand when I said that earlier?
No, a government is just a tool utilized.
As far
by
as I'm
people to
concerned,
assume
dude,
an aim.
people who run for Congress are no longer American citizens. They're congressional members.
And I would agree, but we probably have a different outlook on what that defines.
I think it means that we need to put a wall around Washington and let them fucking fight it out.
Yeah, see, I'm of the opinion that they lose certain privileges and responsibilities that citizens have, but gain privileges and responsibilities of being a politician. No, I'm not that far.
Be allowed to vote.
Yes, I also believe that I shouldn't be allowed to vote, given my. I mean, I believe most people shouldn't be allowed to vote, but me specifically, given my role within the system, I do not believe I should be able to vote.
Hold on, Shadu. Let some other people get in here and stop soliloquizing. I believe that if you work for the federal system in any capacity, you should not be able to vote for the federal elections.
Wow, for once, I'm more extreme than you. I don't think you should even be able to vote for state elections. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I was specifically leaving the question of the state completely out of the statement on purpose.
Okay. Well, then separate from that, then yeah, I do agree with you. Someone who's within the system should not have a dictation on how the system functions. They should just follow instructions from the citizenry, of which they are no longer a part of, given that they're a part of the system instead of beneficiaries of the system.
You know, I think that there's another way we can do this. It might also cut down on the number of people with lifetime appointments or seemingly lifetime appointments, and B, getting super corrupt motherfuckers in there. I think that we should classify public service on the national federal scale as a necessary but criminal act, so that you're in there for your term, you do your job to the best of your ability, and then you serve a mandatory prison sentence for being a member of Congress immediately after.
Huh.
I would prefer stockades first.
Yeah,
I think that everything they should have an audit of all of them, and all of your choices should be scrutinized. And if you've done anything that is against the benefit of the people and in any way was done for benefit of yourself, then you should be held accountable for sure.
And who would
prison sentence immediately after the term?
Who would hold them accountable?
So
Well,
people
question.
like me with guns.
Yeah, there have to be some
So
way of putting it together.
when do you have the time to scrutinize their actions and to
Man, I got nothing but time. I live in Wyoming.
Between railing your mama and your sister, do not mess with me on this one, bro.
Yeah. No, but my point being is that the average person who's working like paycheck to paycheck is going to have to delegate that.
Anything about average people? I said me.
So Sam is in agreement with me that the common plebeian is of no concern to the divine right of aristocracy, and he just so happens to believe he's belonging
Here,
to that
here
right.
you're doing the leftist thing where you're putting words in my mouth because I said one thing, and you're applying.
I'm not just putting words in your mouth.
Things. You 100%
Yes, you are, dude.
It's
You've
not.
been
No.
doing it all
It's not
night.
just words.
You tried to
agree.
tell me what I thought. You've been trying to tell Devil what he thought. You've been trying to tell Anna what she thinks.
I was
You're
steel
close,
manning.
but no cigar, bro.
No. Earlier, I was steel manning arguments. To try to get that conversation flowing
I'm
a little
starting to
bit
think
better.
that steel manning should be applied to the logical fallacy list as a fallacy.
It
Okay,
kinda
tight,
should.
cool. Go right ahead. Right now, I'm putting words on top of other things into Sam's mouth semi-consensually.
You know
It's
what's
not
so-
semi-consensually if I'm saying no, dude. That's rape.
You know what's
Yeah, you graper.
remember the times when the Romans used to like wake up and go to the what was the name of it? When they used to go and poop.
We don't know. You started the sentence.
Oh, when they used to go and poop all together and discuss diplomacy and politics and sit together.
And poop?
Yeah.
Oh no, the Romans did used to do that shit where they would shit and shoot the shit. at the same
I have
time.
no doubt they did a lot of disgusting things. I just don't know what the hell it's called.
And I'm not sure what the point is. Like,
Yeah.
why would we want our Congress people sitting around pooping and having a conversation?
I don't know.
Why
I
would
mean,
that
then
be
they
better?
then they have to stay in place to get shit done because there's obviously facilities right there. They don't get to leave for bullshit reasons because you know what? You got to poop, you got to throw up, whatever. There's a bucket. Do it there. Continue
Congress
with
is full of
what you're
shit.
supposed to be doing, what we elected you to
Okay,
do. You
I
do
don't
not
know.
get to
I'm about to
leave.
think on that, but you definitely opened my eyes to an
Also-
idea that I had not
also-
previously considered.
Compromise between how we used to have our politicians used to like fight duels and shit over like minor things, right? This is a compromise between because obviously they don't want to go back to that because half of them are like we got to take guns away from everybody. Well, this works because they'll have plenty of ammo to fling at each other.
See,
I knew this was a reference to us being monkeys.
I think we should return back to the system where politicians or citizens had some greater stake beyond I happen to live here. Like there should be some kind of
a stakeholder system, like the come on,
like,
bro. Don't do this. Don't
Yeah.
say this. Don't start me up like this, bro.
What?
You're
Like
tuning me up.
No. Like
No.
back in Rome, how like senators and shit owned
No.
parts of the republic and people within that area. Yeah, no, like we should go back to that. Where like if you're the congressman of Texas, you own Texas, and if you're a citizen of Texas, you own pieces of Texas. And then if you don't own any of that, then you're not a citizen. Let's go back to the good old days.
We all know that Alaska is Russian.
No, we paid for that fair and square. It's American.
Yeah, we bought it. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's not our fault that Russia didn't ask for more money.
No.
They should have used that head you say they have.
Louis,
okay, hold on. Pause.
France didn't ask for more money for Louisiana purchase either, and he probably was kicking himself too. But it was a legal purchase.
No, actually, no. Napoleon just was like, "This, I'm not going to get anything out of this. I need the money because Trafalgar fucked me really badly. Hey, America, I want to sell you this. Tight. How do we get the money to you? Let's use a British bank. The British. We didn't consent, but it happened. How the fuck did this go down? Anna, really random autistic question. I know Catherine the Great was the one that settled Alaska. Which one of your leaders sold it to us? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Catherine the Great. Yeah.
Wait, she found it and sold it? I thought she found it and someone else later sold it.
No, she sold it for nothing to the Americans.
Then who found it?
Bitch said ka-ching, billions.
You know, which I find so weird because, as far as I know, a lot of Russian ladies really know how to haggle. Somehow she didn't.
I think she was more concerned about the French Revolution and its
She's
consequences.
not Russian. She was German.
Hold on. There's another feature in the middle of this that y'all are completely missing. You do realize that Russia once sent a fleet to try to protect Alaska, right? Do you know what happened to that fleet?
Which time?
I think it was the first one. The one where they had a battle with a freaking log and they fired on random fishing boats and shit all across the freaking North Sea. They just run roughshod all over everything and actually managed to injure more of their own boats than they did enemy boats, which they didn't have an enemy at that point.
Gotcha.
I have to go look it up. But they sent a small action fleet to go watch the Bering Strait and just kind of patrol over there to let the Alaskans and the Kamchatkans know that the Russians are around and they care. The fleet made it and immediately had to come home because there's nowhere to resupply over there, really. And the places that they went weren't expecting them, and so they didn't really have enough supplies to supply an entire fleet.
Gotcha.
Which I thought was even more hilarious than the trip there is the trip back, where they're literally hopscotching from port to port trying to get just enough coal or oil to get to the next port.
See, I was thinking about the recent one where they sent, I think it was like 3 ships to Alaska with some Chinese support, and a single fucking destroyer rolled up and went like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And they went home.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's funny. Off topic. I just got a notification from a Russian channel I follow as we were discussing Russia.
That's wild. Wait, on the topic of that freaking like fleet thing, one of my favorite things is like hearing about stories of like some enemy of the United States doing something, and then just our signature management is so damn good. We're just like right next to them, like, "What you doing?" And they start freaking the fuck out. Like every single time Iran has a jet fucking with one of our ships, and one of our F-22s is just like hanging out above them, like, "Sup, fucker." That shit's. I love that shit.
They're playing games. They're playing games.
Yeah. Or they're doing shit like what my dad did, where the Iranians start painting our ships with lasers. Like, "What are you gonna do? We got a lock on you." And then he gets a lock on them, and they're like, "Have a nice day," and they fuck off. And he's like looking at his boss, like, just let me do it once. Let me do it once. Come on. No one will know. They're out here alone in the middle of the fucking ocean. I'm jamming their comms. No one will know. And his boss is like, "You can't.
Don't know.
You can't. There's a thing called the ROE. You fucking just can't shoot them."
Yeah.
I fucking love the U.S. military. It's one of the greatest fucking things we've ever made.
Yeah. On that
This
note.
actually speaks to the last topic. This is Naomi Seibt.
Sipe.
Oh, I fucking love her. She's fucking great.
Yeah.
She
This
says,
is kind of part of the last topic, yeah.
she says, my name is Naomi Seibt. I am the first German applying for asylum under President Trump due to political persecution. As a free speech advocate and supporter of the AfD party, I am the target of intelligence surveillance, state media defamation, and Antifa threats. Huh, but I thought they were just an idea.
So, and she's also part of the reason that AFD got any traction at all.
Yeah.
God bless the simps.
I mean, to be fair, she's a very attractive German woman. That'll, did we do it?
I don't know what
I
happened.
don't know.
I'm responding to Abe.
I wasn't
I'm
asking
sorry.
you about that.
Oh, sorry.
He's not wrong though. Your dad did bang your mom.
Yeah, it's true.
And I was gonna tell him, which is fucking impressive, because my mom was an absolute badass, staring down fucking cartel members when she and her crew would board their ships.
And still got banged by your dad.
Yeah, and then I came along and ruined her amazing career in the United States Coast Guard.
So she got fucked twice.
Yeah. Oh well, no, more than that. She also grew up in fucking LA during the gang crisis, which you could blame her parents for that.
Yeah.
Also,
You act like
her
the
dad's
gang crisis ended.
It never did. They just quit talking about it.
Well, when it
Actually,
was real bad.
No. What they did is they came up with this brand new idea where they are going to pay gang members to police their own gangs. I'm not even joking. The mayors of California literally pay for them to, quote unquote, investigate gang related violence, which is one of the reasons why you won't find as much gang related violence listed in the national database as you should, because they don't qualify the ones. Yes.
Also, why would you think that it was a good idea to give money to a group of people who are known to go into places and say, this is a real nice shop you got here. Shame if anything were to happen to it. I can make that not happen for the low price of whatever.
Because they thought it worked when they did it with the Italians, and because they thought it worked with the Italians, they also tried it with the Afghans.
We are still with the Italians. The Italians just got into fucking sanitation and politics, man.
Yeah, no. And the funny thing that you're complaining about the gang crisis, we are doing that with the Taliban right now, where we are paying different warlords in the Taliban to inform on the other warlords in the Taliban, and all they're doing is killing our guys that we trained to fight the Taliban.
It's a shakedown.
Yes, I'm aware it's a shakedown, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh, man. Anyway, so Naomi Seibt is here in the she's been here in the States, I believe, on a legal work visa for some time. It's not like she
that's not her. My bad.
No, that's not her. That's not her.
I was gonna say, really? She's attracted to you guys think?
Scroll down, would you please?
Yeah. No, that's what I meant to do a second ago.
There she is.
United States of America under President Trump's new proposal for a refugee mandate, because I am facing persecution in my home country, Germany, for my political views, for my support for the AfD party, the only opposition party in Germany, and most importantly, for my advocacy for free speech. I have become the target of severe government and intelligence surveillance and harassment. My communications have been intercepted.
Was that the opposite of a passport, bro?
Green card.
Hot chicks come here to get a green card. Ugly guys go there to get a hot chick.
I mean, that was a thing.
It never works out for long.
No, the passport bro thing doesn't usually work out. However, I know a guy who literally did a mail order bride service.
Yeah,
and
I've
it's
known
worked
people
out.
who've had, who've gotten real lucky. Yes, it does occasionally work out, but given how many passport bros there are, and given how many like Filipino chicks want an American passport,
Yeah.
right? Want an American
Yeah,
green
sure.
card. Like,
Yeah.
statistically speaking, the odds of that working out are real goddamn low.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, it's
Hold on. I think he managed to game the system because it was his second marriage and his first wife died of natural causes. And it was her second marriage and her husband died of natural causes. And when he went into the system, he went in with the request that it is a widow, a legitimate widow with all the trimmings that accounts for. And he found a chick that was willing to marry a rock to not be alone. And she's hot.
So back to Sam's point about how like it doesn't usually work. That's because the calculus involved changes, where the guy is looking for whatever he's looking for in a woman, and the woman in question that he chooses is just looking for the ability to come to the United States. Well, once she gets the permanent access to the United States, what she's looking for from the guy, what she's looking for from a man changes. And if the guy no longer meets her standards, she is now in a country where she's not only legally allowed, but arguably legally incentivized to get rid of them and find a better alternative, for lack of a better way, for lack of a more tactful way to phrase that.
There are things that are stacked in her favor, particularly no fault divorce once she gets here, kind of thing. Yes, I get all that. Let's not pretend that shit's one sided though, because a lot of the passport bros will preach going there to find a fucking stable relationship or a wife or a family or whatever, and what they're actually doing is banging their way through fucking Southeast Asia.
Oh, 100%. Well, I'm not just thinking about Southeast Asia.
Like, I'm just saying, everybody's got ulterior motives here, and that's why it
Sure.
doesn't work, is nobody's on the same fucking page. That's why it's a problem.
I was speaking more to the whole, like, having a long-term lasting relationship from the perspective of, like if the guy's actually looking for that shit.
Yeah, you're thinking more like what's his name from with the thick-ass glasses from the movie Dodgeball, right? He thinks
No
that,
fucking clue.
L for love, right?
No, it's my hold on, let me
Stephen
fucking check the hold on, I'm checking the fucking script. It's my clear raging misogyny that is leading me to come to this conclusion. Right? That's
Yeah.
I think Larry's got to work on this shit, man. This script is not very good.
It's not. Anyway, let's continue.
And my family has been stalked by reporters for the state media for whom we pay taxes. And I continue to receive death threats from Antifa. When I asked the police for help in the past about these death threats, they did not offer me help because physical harm had not occurred yet. President Trump has correctly identified Antifa as a terrorist organization. But meanwhile, the German government silently condoned these attacks on their own citizens, as if they are soldiers for their agenda. This year, I helped arrange the viral X live conversation between Elon Musk and AfD leader Alice Weidel, which I'm sure many of you have seen, as it drew international media coverage. While Europe is becoming a breeding ground for tyranny, America still treats the right to free speech as sacred, and thank God for that. In Germany, it is illegal under paragraph 188, which was extended under former Chancellor Angela Merkel, to insult or damage the reputation of a politician. I will not apologize for violating their legal special protection, because in a democracy, politicians must tolerate criticism. The reason why the German government and intelligence gained an interest in me is because I was the very
You're
first.
not in a democracy.
I know she got that one wild eye, but she is hot as fuck, bro.
Right? And honestly, the cursor right in the middle of her face is like kind of throwing it off for me. You might slide it down a little bit. Thank you.
Young.
There you go. I even gave you a better Frost's face.
I appreciate
She sounds too much like what's her name? Fucking that
like
creepy,
a German.
that creepy autistic chick who. How dare you?
Yeah. No, that bitch is Swedish or some shit.
Yeah, but they sound like similar in the way that.
Well,
She just can't talk. She's very attractive, but I'll have to tell her to be a mute.
I like the accent. She doesn't sound like fucking Thunberg at all. Number one, she's not retarded.
She sounds a lot like, not like what she's saying, but like
Yeah.
in the vocalization, and that would ruin it for me.
I don't know.
I disagree with Sam about the accent. I think she's a little bit too far Western European.
She's German.
Yeah, that's too far west.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like the German accent, I think, is distinct from the Swedish one. They do come from the same language family group, but
Oh
whatever.
no, I'm saying that the accent isn't like an appealing point. It's just an accent, like Poland.
Oh my God, guys, she talks. It's okay.
She talks pretty. I'm sorry.
She is pretty. I like how she talks. I don't mind it. I would prefer that she talks more. Her complaint is they're not letting her talk, and I'm on her side.
Abby Normal here saying like you have a chance with her. No, I don't. Why do you think I'm talking about her on the fucking internet?
Oh, you are an automatic green card, my brother. She don't even have to claim asylum. You got a shot.
Right?
I'm just imagining Anna banging her head against her desk right now with this conversation. And
I'm pretty sure she left 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, she left to go bash her head against her desk.
Oh,
she's not denying it. She's not denying it.
I don't think she's involved in self-harm, but self-victimization is full game.
Yeah, same shit, different stick.
Anyway, I do think it's kind of interesting though that this is she's saying she's the first German person to claim asylum, because I think I mean maybe through legal means, but Operation Paperclip would beg to differ.
Well, those weren't Germans; those were communists.
No, they were Nazis.
Get some help.
They were Germans.
Operation
Paperclip were Nazis, Nazi scientists.
Dude, I don't know what you've been reading.
Which is a breed of communism.
Hold on, brother. When you disagree with every single statement every single person makes, it doesn't give you a whole lot of legs to stand on.
I didn't disagree with Anna earlier.
No, you just reframed what she was saying so that you could agree with it.
You just did it again.
No, what I did was steel man her argument.
He can't not do it. He cannot agree with anything verbally stated.
No. When I am faced with opinions that are wrong, I can't agree with them.
But you find every opinion but your own wrong. You won't even really discuss the topic.
Yes.
You just start with the sentence, no, and then you say whatever it is that, you know.
Correct. That's absolutely correct. I only agree with my own opinions.
This is why.
And by agreeing with your opinion right now, I've just disproven your opinion, thus making your argument invalid.
An outlier does not accept the rule. It proves it, sir.
Nope. You said only your opinion. You said only your opinions. I just agreed with you, making your statement incorrect. I win. Have a nice day.
See? Right there. You just did it again.
Yes. Because
I proved myself correct by saying I agree with you is not the same as agreeing with him.
Okay, gang.
Who was it that brought up the ego earlier? Boy, we are in the middle of it now, bro.
I didn't. I brought my ego up earlier. I brought up the fact that I've got two competing voices. One is winning, that I am God, and that I'm trash. One of them is winning.
Okay. What did I step into? Back.
Nothing important.
Shadow was talking again. That's all.
What does she have to say now?
Oh, we're just looking at her at this point.
They were just looking at her.
Yeah, pretty much. We can listen to her lips move if you like.
I'm on fucking Twitter right now. I'm not looking at her.
Right.
Oh, poor Germany. Oh, I'm so bad. I need to go and what now? What now? Come on. Hit me with it.
That's pretty much it. She's applying for asylum in the United States on grounds of political persecution. That's the point of this whole thing.
Okay.
And I think that the only reason that we brought this up, aside from the fact that, yes, she's nice to look at, is that it is adjacent to the last thing that was about the EU trying to outlaw AFD and their associated affiliates.
Mm-hmm.
Since she was, in fact, part of the reason that the AFD gained any traction at all.
Can we listen to her lips move again?
Also hot. Yes, please.
English-speaking influencer to openly align with the AfD party, right-of-center political views, and most importantly, I supported President Trump since he came down the golden escalator in 2015
dare
and
you.
announced that he was running for president. Trump's election victory was the
Shut up,
crack
devil.
in the matrix that terrified globalist tyrants. And now I am the bridge between Germany and the MAGA movement, which the European Union desperately.
I kind of want her to tell me all the horrible things that I am.
Somebody better tell MAGA that.
Well, okay, to be entirely fair, the MAGA movement is basically been splintered and shattered. So for all we know, the actual what's left of it probably agrees with her.
I don't know about that.
Like, what have you been reading, bro?
About the MAGA? Pretty much everyone is kind of just bitchy about MAGA in general. Either it's not extreme enough, it's too extreme, it's not white enough, it's too white, yada, 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 and everyone's just been bitching about it.
I've
That's
never
been the
heard
case
anyone
the
say
entire
something's not
fucking
white enough.
time, man. Where have you been?
As in, and people have actually started fucking distancing themselves from MAGA.
Certain
and starting
people
their
have.
own bullshit. A lot of people.
Right, just these lot of people just trust me, bro.
Fucking
Tucker
Alex
Carlson doesn't hardly count as people.
Tucker Carlson. Well, yeah, he doesn't count as people. He's a fucking glowy. Alex, allegedly. Alex Jones, Candace Owens, Steven Crowder, fucking Andrew Wilson. I mean, I know that last
Candace
one you guys
Owens
don't
was
like.
controlled opposition to begin with,
Yeah.
and Steven Crowder is literally a
Fucking-
paid actor.
Fucking Massey.
Also
No,
Canadian.
Massey was a rhino. What are you talking about, bro?
yeah, and they were part of that fucking coalition. I'm not disputing the validity. What I'm saying is that was a coalition of ideas, and the coalition is breaking. I'm not
Massey
saying it's a good
was
thing.
never a part of that coalition, bro.
To borrow the probably poorly chosen name of Andrew Wilson's channel, are you sure that MAGA's just not going into the crucible and coming out pure?
Hey, it might be.
All right, I don't like the use of the word crucible in my presence.
Listen, it perfectly well might be, but the problem with the system that we exist in is if you have a pure
I'm sorry. Did I say
organization-
pure? I meant Führer.
Okay, cool. Unfortunately, because we live in a system that requires compromise, unfortunately, if you purify your system, you end up not being able to rally as much political authority as you necessarily need in order to control the system. I think that's a flaw of the system personally, because it requires you to acquiesce to people who don't necessarily line up with you in ways that are effective or necessary, which leads to the problems that we've had as a country. But you had the coalition achieved its goal, and now that they've had something of a victory, they've started bickering and failing.
Yeah.
That's the
All right.
curse of the right altogether, though. That's not like
Exactly.
the
First of all-
MAGA thing. Anytime that there's any kind of cohesion and any traction on any one thing, they immediately fall to infighting the second they get any sort of victory whatsoever. Every
Did I
There's
say
another.
that?
Hold
Did-
on. There's
did-
another layer to that hasn't been brought up. Something that should be considered. The left is collectivist, and as collectivists, they group thing. And when you have the right over here doing the free speech, individuality, and self-reliance thing, and the left over here doing the collectivist, do as we say thing, they are going to vote as a block in every case.
Yeah.
Whereas you've got, let me finish, please.
Okay.
Whereas you've got Republicans, conservatives, and MAGA over here on the right, all arguing over what words mean what.
I don't see the difference.
That's because you're not familiar with the difference. You are unaware of the difference. You just paint them all red and say they're all MAGA or Republicans
No.
or whatever. Yes, obviously, that's what you just said. You don't see the difference.
You don't know anything about me.
I just listened to you talk for 45 minutes about various aspects of your political opinion, and I
You are
have derived a bit of an
literally
educated
the
guess
other
on where it may
Friendly,
land.
please.
Hold on.
That if you don't agree with my opinion and you don't know what I'm saying, then you are the same as the other.
You said, and I quote, I don't see a difference. And I said it's because you don't know there is a difference.
Alrighty.
Well, conservatives, Republicans, and MAGA are not the same thing.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone outright said they were. My point earlier was that a coalition broke up. did I say MAGA is the only example of the right doing that? No. Did I say it was exclusive to MAGA? No. I said the current political coalition that achieved its goal shattered upon achieving the goal because its disparate parts could not effectively cooperate due to the nature of the system we've created, and that has led to a weak point.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all I said. And then you brought up, oh, well, but that's just the way the right is. I didn't say yes or no. I said, what's going on?
That was me that brought up that that's the way the right is, because the right is typically, and again, typically and generally speaking here, much more concerned with individualism than with collectivism, and individuals do not stay coherent as a group for long.
Yeah. Hence why our original system, before we freaking perverted it and got around too much federalism, was, hey, we all do our own thing. We give a little bit of power to a centralized authority to keep us from killing each other and to keep the savages out, and we'll do our own thing. And because we removed the accountability and responsibility component, now we've got daddy government putting a boot to your throat every single time you want to mow your lawn.
Technically, that's the HOA, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's a fucking arm of the government.
Well, speaking of government doing things out of pocket, you wanna hit to the next one? We can get the fuck out of here.
It's too soon, man.
Yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of the death of Harambe. And apparently the whole internet was in tears. I had to actually look up who the fuck this was because I wasn't on the internet when this happened.
You weren't part of the original meme wars?
No, I wasn't.
Now, allow me.
For my favorite
Please.
fucking monkey.
I was trying to get my kid through high school, man. I wasn't worried about a fucking ape.
This is
for my baby
from
boo.
the White House, bro. From the White House. On this
yeah.
iconic day in history, Harambe would have celebrated another birthday. An icon that became part of internet history, American culture, and an entire generation's timeline. Tomorrow marks 10 years since we lost him. 10 years since the moment the world stopped scrolling and collectively mourned something bigger than a meme. He became a symbol of loyalty, strength, chaos, unity, and the strange beauty of the internet, bringing millions of people together for one cause. Never forgetting Harambe. Everyone remembers where they were when they heard the news. I don't.
No,
Somehow, a decade later, his legacy still lives on. Gone but never forgotten. Rest easy to a true patriot. A fucking gorilla.
First off, he wasn't a true patriot. He was an immigrant, and possibly an illegal one on account of having no green card. But whatever.
My question is, was he voting?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know where the fuck he was housed.
He may have voted this last election.
Hold on. Is it bad that I remember where I was when I saw that he died?
I mean, the White House remembers, so I guess not.
I was standing in front of a soda machine in a pizza shop in Pensacola back in like 6th grade.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know, man. Like I said, I didn't even know who this was until like later. I keep saying who, what this was. This is a gorilla. This is not a human being.
Listen. The death of Harambe is what put us into this timeline. The death of Peanut the squirrel was supposed to. The death of Peanut. No. The death of Peanut the squirrel was supposed to correct it, but they got the raccoon involved, and that just fucked everything up and made it worse.
Can confirm.
No, I agree about the squirrel. I disagree that I think Harambe was a result of that timeline already having gone mad.
No. Everything was good up until Harambe getting shot. We were living in a golden age up until Harambe was shot. Harambe gets shot, everything gets torn apart.
Know. You weren't there. You might have been there, but you were too small to understand. Shut up.
You don't know. You ain't seen the things I seen. You ain't felt the things I felt. I know more. You could know.
For $20 you can. I called her. She said it's okay. I think I just heard Sam. he'll be back in a minute, folks.
Oh, did you hear the cough that came out with that laugh? Fuck.
Dude,
yeah, no. You need to wipe down your screen. Don't lie to me.
I think I might die.
Yeah, I got something visceral out of him. That's good. That's good shit. That's weaponized humor for you. It literally injures you.
Oh no, Sam and Ozzy is demanding your attention.
Yeah, Grant. I will check that here shortly after the show. Appreciate it, buddy. I've been getting your notifications as well. So, Mr. Grant Gregory, everybody, good dude. Still kind of mad at me because I didn't have enough space or forethought to invite him to the quiz last night, but I will be inviting him to the next one. So, yeah, he may not show up because he'll still be mad at me, but he'll have an invite, as it were. But yeah, the whole Harambe thing. Look, I mean, I get it. It was a tragedy and probably avoidable and whatever. But at the same time, I never really understood everybody getting. I guess I kind of do because I was sort of on the whole no peanut thing for a minute, but the only reason we're even bringing this up, aside from the fact that it was yesterday, is that the White House put this out. But the way that fucking post reads, and you should agree with me on this, Sasquatch, you just read it out loud. It reads like an intern ran that through fucking AI first.
Really does. It really does.
That's the level of care and respect that the White House has to this matter.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a lark in the first place, though, isn't it?
Yeah, the entire post smacks of, again, another troll, like the aliens.com thing.
Listen, that is the amount of care that this situation deserves. An AI generated post on the official White House page is exactly the level of fucking
testing.
Yeah, okay. That is what this deserves.
Real quick. Anna, you've gotta pop out. Did you want to chill anything before you go? I think you're muted.
I think maybe she left already, and
okay.
It's just not.
Okay.
Oh, there she is.
Oh,
she's still poking buttons. She'll get there. I have faith in you, Anna. You can do this,
dude. This StreamYard phone is on mobile is such a pain in the ass.
While she's fixing that, I just want to say thank you, Anna, for making me have to steel man and defend the opinions of a woman. That was not a good experience for me.
She didn't make you do a goddamn thing. You took that upon yourself, White Knight.
Yes, exactly. That's why she
jumped right out in front of that shit like a fucking bullet dodger.
Yes, she knew what she was doing.
But anyway,
did you?
As it goes,
I don't know.
As it goes, Jesus Christ, kids, stop fucking talking. Everything's a goddamn dissertation with you, whether you're agreeing with somebody or not. It's like
100%.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna open this door. Well, I just gotta let every single thought in my head flood out all at the fucking once. And guess what? There's no end to that shit. And sometimes it's coherent, and sometimes it's not coherent. But I'm gonna keep going, whether you fucking like it or not. Because here he goes. Just running over everybody else. Fucking street, man. Just stop. Yes or no is fine once in a while. That's all I'm saying.
Anna's gone.
Yeah, she bounced out, but she has a channel that is linked in the description below. Anna's Gameland. Go check her out. She does music.
And is Sam talking?
Yes, I'm still talking. Shut the fuck up.
He said, "Shut the fuck up."
Can you not hear Sam?
Motherfucking son of a standby.
I think that's a dodge. I think he heard all of that, and I was mad trying to cop out.
Let's not let him back in. I'm just saying.
Right? Abe's like, remember when we missed this kid?
I know. Exactly.
It's getting fuzzy.
It is. It's starting to get distant in the memory and all that. But anyway, as I was saying, don't start talking yet, kid. I heard you drawing in breath, motherfucker. You stay silent. As I was saying, Anna's got her link in the description below. She does music. She does gameplay stuff. She does some pretty awesome live streams involving space stuff and all of that, and a host of other things. Go check her out. She's amazing. I'm glad to have her here. And actually, this is probably a good time for us all to chill and bounce the fuck out because we're almost at 3.5 fucking hours. I didn't realize that.
Take 10 minutes to do it.
I could try. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
Where's Abe when you fucking need him, bro? Jesus.
He doesn't do that shit anymore. He usually feels so shit when he's giving his outro. He's like, yeah, I got this thing next. and that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying,
Check
like,
on my Twitter.
I
You'll find out where I'll be.
just managed to schedule in the redirect for after the show, thinking it might go another 15, 20 minutes. And as soon as I hit save on that shit, you were like, well, that's a pretty good time for us. And I'm like, fuck.
I love Aussie humor. Check this out. I wasn't spoken enough. Let him talk. All right. Well, as it happens, though, we did do I think a pretty solid show here, despite the fact that I think it maybe got a little bit more heated at points than maybe it was necessary to. But no, it was good. It was good. It was good. It's good to have discussions. It's good to have dissenting opinions. We don't all have to think the same. If we do all think the same, then we're, what's the point of anything?
Exactly.
So, and I do appreciate that. But that said, now, Shadu, when I give you the signal, you can speak again. The signal is, do you have anything to shill? If so, what, where, and why? Where can people find you? All the usual shit. And thank you once again for being here.
Only thing I can really chill is my Twitter, where you guys can find me. Right now, I'm arguing with 40K fans because they're all retarded. I say that as a 40K fan. That's about it.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Still, do appreciate you being here and making the time for us. I know that you're pretty busy, dude. So that said, he does have a YouTube channel. He hasn't posted anything on there in quite some time, but there is some old shit you can go and check out if you're interested. And that link is also in the description below. Sasquatch, regale us.
What did I do? Shit.
With your lengthy list of upcoming things.
Oh yeah, and I might be fixing to add 2 to it too. So tomorrow, the blast radius with Captain Curmudgeon. Not sure what the topic's going to be. Said, and I quote, "I'm going to surprise you." So there we go. I'll be surprised. This is all I can tell you about it. I suspect Black George Washington might be making an appearance, but I don't know that.
Yeah, one of these days, dude, we got to get me and Curmudgeon in a room so that Black George Washington can meet Jordan the Frog.
We got to get him drinking for that, though. Tuesday, the Naughty Corner with American Justice of Texas. We're going to be going over probably some body cam footage and whatnot. It's looking like Wednesdays with Marathon Kev, we're going to be doing different types of body cam footage. So, like, whereas the idea of bad cops and bad body cam footage on the Naughty Corner, the idea of more like government overreach type stuff with Marathon Kev. So it won't be just body cams. It'll also be like court cases that have gone off the rails, or those guys that try to jump over the judge. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff. It'll be a little more violent, I think, would be my guess. And then if I don't stumble across a interview this week, I will be back here again. And you can find me randomly, probably right after this show, on the Powdered Dusty if he decides to actually do anything. You never know. Beyond that, I don't really got a whole lot going on. I've got a pregnant daughter that I'm going to have to run to the hospital at some point in time in the next, week probably. So, like, I might not be at any of those places on any given position point.
That sounds fun. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's life. I mean, we all got to deal with life as we go about our internet ways here. Speaking of which, somebody who's been AWOL on his own show recently a couple of times. Devil, what do you got going on?
Yeah, I should be there next week on my own show.
But he's not sure, folks. Can you tell?
Yeah, hopefully I'll be there. But yeah, check it out. Every Friday going into Saturday, the pub over on Beelzehub. If you can find it, it's really hard, and make no apologies.
I need somebody to specifically clip out the phrase that he just said. If you could find it, it's really hard. No apologies. That needs to be one of those little animations, like the one where he's talking about getting railed on the Senate floor. Anyway, I love that clip, man. You need to make that shit. That shit needs to make a comeback.
It's not my favorite, but okay.
Oh, all right. Well, as it happens, that brings us to moi. And next thing I got up, I will be over helping out on Exiled Linus 2 late tonight. It's looking like 9:15 Pacific time. So for everybody east of there, it's going to get progressively later and later. After that, I will more than likely be doing some game streaming for a ridiculous length of time at ridiculously late hours. We'll see what happens. Probably going to be a fair amount of that throughout the week. And although I am looking to finish Crimson Desert this week, because I definitely want to move on and do something else for a while. And I'm right there at the end as it is anyway. So we'll see what happens with that. Next week, we'll have more Abyssal Musings on Friday, as usual. I should be able to make the pub next week as well. The only reason I didn't this week was because I couldn't stay awake. I almost didn't make it through my own quiz show. So it was like, no, I have to go to bed now. And so I'm doing that. and all that. But and then we'll be back here, right here, at this time, at this day, in this place. More Screaming into the Void, where we get into the shenanigans. Oh, also, announcement. We discussed this on Whispering in the Dark earlier this week. I finally figured out what we're doing for the 200th episode of Screaming into the Void, which is coming up in 8 weeks. That's 2 months. We're going to do like we did for the 150th episode, where we EFAP the God Killers, or the God Builders, or whatever the fuck it was called. Except in this case, it's not going to be that. It's going to be What the Internet Did to Garfield by Super Eye Patch Wolf.
Oh no, you're going to traumatize your entire
I'm
audience.
going to traumatize everybody. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully it'll be a long ass show, because it's like an hour and a half long video. We're going to EFAP the fuck out of it. It's going to be glorious. Coming out in about 2 months.
Yes. Way ahead of you.
Yes. So, and we'll be hopefully have plenty of guests on for that one as well. But it again, it's a ways out. But I did finally settle on what we're going to do for the 200th episode, and that'll be that. Otherwise, Sasquatch, I'm trying real hard here, but I don't know if I got
You're
fucking
good,
more
bro.
minutes.
He backed it up another 30 minutes. It doesn't matter. Just do your thing.
Okay. All right, then. That's it. That's all she wrote. We're going to get the fuck out of here. Thank you to everybody who was on the panel today. Anna's Gameland, Shadow of Hawk, Caucasian Sasquatch, Devil Made Me Do It. You guys are all awesome. I appreciate y'all. Everybody in chat for watching and participating and hanging out. We love you. We need you. I don't know a way to end that sentence that isn't less gay. So we're just going to end it right there.
We want you.
That's not less gay.
We need you.
It's actually more gay.
But there ain't no way I'm ever gonna rub you. So hit the button.
Okay, maybe a little less gay, but still very gay. Anyway, thank you all for coming. We'll see y'all next time. Remember,
you're welcome.
Always be worse. You could be the guy he's talking about. Bye, everybody.